Getting some people up here in a second. Please, everyone, only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We're going to start getting some people up here in a second. Do give it a second for people to join in. What's up, everyone? Do tap that screen. Do share the live, everyone. We're going to start getting some people up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 22.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes, sir, I did.
Why'd you do that?
I want to say I really just voted for my party, but in a way, not only that, I have other reasons.
What are those
I thought,
reasons?
well, I thought that if the Democrats won this election, well, I thought that if the Democrats won this election, well, I thought that if the Democrats won this election, well, I thought that if the Democrats won this election, for the or the right.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. So, do you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, so you agree the border's not open?
I thought that if the left
You
would have,
agree it wasn't
yeah,
open?
okay, well, at the end of his term, yes, at the end of it.
Was it open under Biden?
During the beginning, yeah.
Okay, so what did he do to open the border?
Well, I just think that there wouldn't have been as many policies, obviously, as Donald Trump is going to put in to make the border more secure. So I think that would have led to a lot of undocumented immigrants
No,
coming through our.
can you explain to me what the Biden-Harris administration did to open the border?
I just don't think that they had a lot of security at the border is what I'm saying. I don't think they had definitely.
What did they do to change the level of security at the border?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I told you that I know that it
So
was
are you
more
saying they
closed at the end.
continued? Are you saying them continuing Trump's policies led to not enough security at the border? So then Trump's fault for not enough security at the border, it seems.
I guess if they didn't want to change the policies that Donald Trump made, then um,
It sounds like Donald Trump didn't fix it either.
well, I mean, he's doing it right now, though. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, but
That's,
like he wasn't under his administration.
I mean, how many people came
Didn't he run
were
on the border being an issue?
for this election? Yeah.
Yeah, so if no, for the last election even, or in the one before that as well. So 2016, he ran on it being an issue, right? Why didn't he fix it?
In 2016, I mean, he did.
He wasn't president in 2016. So when
Or
did he
and
fix it?
when did he fix it? I mean, he's making the right steps right now to fix it, I think, and that's what's the important part. That's what I just
Those
said.
being?
So my point, Parker, is that if Vice President Harris would have won, she wouldn't have spent any time focusing on the border, which is
What
what I
would he have
believe.
specifically done in terms of policy? What's his policy? Do you even
His
know? What's his
policy,
plan?
or his plan, is the mass deportation.
And that's a goal. What's the plan?
Yeah,
What's the policy?
I couldn't tell you the policy, but I know the goal is mass deportation.
This is like telling me that you are voting for a candidate because of better economy. I ask you, how is he going to make the economy better? And you say, I have no fucking clue. I just like the goal of a better economy.
Well, yeah, but that's not the like the only reason, though, Parker. I've got a couple of my reasons. I don't know.
Go
I feel
ahead.
like
Give me your best shot. Come on, that was
or
terrible.
how do you feel, or have you seen the clip of Joe Biden or when he said, "I believe that poor kids are just as smart as white kids"? How do you feel about that? Do you think
Uh,
that, or do you think that was racist in a way? So I just don't like the way that the left lanes out, says that Trump
out
is
of
such a
all
racist
the
and such a bad person. When he was against gay marriage before he ran for president, like that was open. So I mean, what's like the premise that you're saying that the left is full of good people and great people, and that they always want the best for the country, when they've got little hints of racism, little hints um of bad things. So I just want to ask you, like, what's so great and proper about the
Jacob,
left when
who is
they,
the
yeah,
presidential candidate?
Vice President Harris,
Is that Joe Biden?
part of
No.
the Democratic Party.
Secondly, right? I
Yeah.
can acknowledge that they're part of the. I'm not bringing up just random Republicans. I'm talking about the presidential candidates, but I mean, I can
Yeah.
talk about Joe Biden. All right. I've acknowledged that he's done racist things throughout his career. Right. And I think that those things are bad. But I think I can address the difference in behavior between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, that Donald Trump never acknowledges his racism, never educates himself, never advocates for other people to not do so. Whereas as Joe Biden has acknowledged those things, has said that they are bad and tries to do better. So I can acknowledge the difference in their behavior. But again, he's not the candidate, right?
Who
He's not even in politics anymore at this point. So can you please explain to me why Donald Trump was a better candidate than Kamala Harris? Because you said racism and homophobia matters. Well, Kamala Harris has been pro gay marriage like since the early 2000s, right? And she's
yeah.
fought for the rights of people for a very long time. So please tell me how any of those critiques are applicable to her.
I don't know. I think that you would be the very last person to bring up the amount of work that Donald Trump has done in like inner cities, the amount of money that he's donated to HBCUs.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a
I
ridiculous
mean,
statement. No,
how?
because he reduced the amount of money going to HBCUs. Let me explain. So he took it from 500 million a year under Obama to 255 million a year under his administration, and it was increased to 4 billion a year under the Biden-Harris administration. Do you think 4 billion is more or less than 255 million?
It's more,
It's clearly more.
but is it more? I mean, you just said it's more than when Obama was in office, right?
Yeah. Oh, Biden did it
So,
more. Biden did more than Obama. Trump did less than Obama. Obama did 500 million. Trump did 255 million.
that's not
Which
what I
number is
saw. No.
bigger? Which number is bigger?
Oh, like obviously the 500 and the 4 and the 5 billion that you said, but that's not what I saw when I looked it up and I did my
I don't know
research on
where
it.
you
But
looked because
yeah,
I literally looked at like the funding that he passed through Congress.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said at first, like I thought that if the left would have won, then the left would have won the next 16 elections because of their border policies that they would have had in place and the
Again,
amount of
there's what border policy?
well, what border policy did Harris have? Like what
Can
it
you tell me
showed?
what border policy?
No, but which party
They're going to
is
win
more
every
open?
election in the future because of their border policy. They're going to open the borders. They'll win every time. They'll win. They'll win
Well,
so much. They'll win very much.
which party do you think is more pro
Dude,
like
I'm sorry. You got to be like more
immigration?
fucking politically involved in this if you're going to vote, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean that's just why I support Trump. That's what your prompt is.
Yeah, but that's like literally like not even sentient. That's like my dog would be able to provide a better set of reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but I mean your prompt is why do you support Trump? And I guess that was my reasoning. That's just what I saw.
And that's you've got to be some level of embarrassed.
Not really. I think he's going to do better for this country in
Interesting.
general,
Yeah, but like based on
or as
what?
a whole.
Based on what policies? You said goals. You didn't give me policies. You said
What
goals.
policy? Okay, so in last year, undocumented immigrants got $42 billion in aid from states when they came or into this country. They got $41 billion in Medicare. The schools used about $62 billion
Can I have a
in
source?
a source. Yeah, it's the house.budget.gov. I'll send you the link if you
That's a
want.
Republican committee within the federal government.
So the
So
research done was
yeah,
a researcher.
it's a partisan Republican committee.
So if you want to look at the document, it said that the research was
Yeah,
done
the
by
partisan
a
Republican committee.
so that's just all fake news, and is what you're saying. Like that's all
I
no.
think if you're going to have a justified basis for the claim, you can find something outside of the Republican partisan source.
Okay, but do you not think that that's like like a problem? The amount of money that we're giving them when we have more
Wait, you don't
problems in
even
the
know that's
country.
the amount of money. Go ahead and provide it. You understand that undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants provide more into the U.S. economy than they take from it by far.
They pay so if they pay $25 billion in taxes is what the document said,
That's
and they're
not
getting
true at
everything that I
all.
told you.
Meredith, think of the $5. That's not true at all.
I mean, I can send you the document if you want to read over it and
Yeah,
then tell me what's wrong
that's
in it.
the House Republican committee. That's what's fucking wrong. It's a partisan Republican committee.
Okay.
Is that
I mean,
clear? Like, is that like a difficult thing to
it's
understand?
I
I'm looking
mean,
for you would. I guarantee a person that had a mustache. If you were shown a liberal source with only liberal information, completely partisan liberal form of or aspect of the government, you wouldn't accept it. Let's ask this question: Do you think
yeah.
that Donald Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll?
I haven't done my research on that, but I'm not gonna say no or yes. I don't know. I haven't done my research on that. I mean,
Okay, okay.
you could tell
Would you
me,
vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
um, if they were a better candidate overall, morals to the side,
You can't just
probably.
like throw your morals aside. Better is in
Why?
relation to what your morals are. That's crazy for you to say. Now, I'll ask you the question: would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child,
A child, like physically, like sexually abusing, like touching a child?
forcefully penetrating them against their will?
A child?
Yes.
Uh, I haven't heard of Trump doing that. Can you explain to me what he did with the?
Jesus
Well, no,
Christ, are
like
you
I.
able to like listen to the fucking words that come out of my mouth?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm asking you a hyper specific question. Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
A child? No, no, I
Okay,
wouldn't.
so why would you vote for the person that was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, but not if the victim were a minor?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Parker. I haven't done my research on that. Like, you could say, oh yeah, I mean, you're the same party that's saying that Elon
Wait, Jacob,
like,
why
like
don't
did
you
the salute.
can you explain to me
Like what?
can you explain to me why you need to
Yeah.
do research when it comes to a scenario where the victim is a woman, but not if the victim were a child?
I just said I would have to do my research for both. I don't
No,
know.
you didn't. You answered the question when it came to the child. You didn't say I have to do my
Well,
research.
okay,
I don't
no,
know.
I would
You
not then,
answered the damn
Parker.
question.
No, if it
So
was
you
a
wouldn't.
woman,
So then
child,
let's
anyone, no, I
okay, so
would
then
not.
you wouldn't vote. So do you regret voting for Donald Trump?
Well, that's that. Now we're back to where we were. I would
Because he
have
was
to
held
look
civilly
in to
liable
see
of
it.
forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. I just gave you the information. You have it right in front of you. He was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman. Now that you have this information, do you regret voting for him?
Yeah, I mean, if that was the case, then yeah, then yes.
All right, well, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say here and say no and say no and say to that. I would just like out the door, Parker. But I don't know, like when it comes to what I thought would be the best for our country, and I looked at the two. I'm not like super right leaning, like oh, like he's far superior, better than Vice President Harris. I think she would have done great things too. But in my personal view, I mean, I'm 22. I thought that I would get more out of what Donald Trump would do for this country with what I thought was right than what Vice President Harris would
I
do.
promise you won't by any metric.
Yeah, and
Like
if I'm like,
Kamala Harris
yeah,
actually had policy. Donald Trump didn't have any policy, aside from the moral quandary that you'd have with voting for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman in the first place. So you already agree that based upon that particular notion that you wouldn't have voted for him, that you regret voting for him. So that's the whole basis of like what this live, if you wouldn't have voted for him, that shows that. But one thing I would say to like before you go is that in order to prevent like things like this from happening in the future, you should probably do a bit of the research prior to the election.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, and you're right about that. I think everyone should do their own, like their own. And I'm not one to say that I'm totally right and that I know everything. Like I understand that there's things that I didn't research that are bad about Trump, and I get that. But like at the end of the day too, like there are stuff on the left that scare me too. That I'm like, okay, that's a little bit like concerning. And so it's just stuff like, I mean, if there's stuff going, okay, so how do you feel about like the whole, like, I know I watched you live with Harry and that guy was doing it, but do you think that Elon was doing the salute? Like, is that something that you would say, oh yeah, like he
Yeah.
was like on purpose doing the salute?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. I mean, and like that's the thing. Like, I guess I just look at the left as they're, I mean, both parties are corrupt in a way, and I just think that
I'm sorry. Like it's obvious that he was doing that. Like actually, like
really,
it's the motion. Yeah, he would. Yeah.
okay.
Do
Oh
you want me to
yeah,
show? Do you want me to show you a video? Watch this real quick, or look at this. This is from my ex. Sorry,
this
it's.
is it. Yeah,
Do you see how he's doing that?
yeah,
Those look nothing alike.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess though. Yeah, those don't look like the same, but in the same way, if I just don't see why he. I mean, he's a smart man. You can't like say he's not. He's a super smart man. He's probably one of the smartest dudes. I mean, to live on this earth, he's super smart. Why would he do it there? Like, why would that be the stage, Parker? Like, why in his head would he be like,
I
"This
don't
is my
know.
time
I don't
for
know.
me to do"? See, like that's
I don't know the full intentions, but that's obviously like very intentional. I
yeah,
can at least the intention that I can identify is that he tried to do that.
do you?
It's not like some random picture where it's out of context. It's a video where he's doing the direct motion in which you have to do it and then turns around and does it again. Okay? He did it twice. It's
Yeah,
not like he just did it once. He was like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. That was on accident." If you do it unintentional, right? I'm not going to like sit there and be like, you're fucking insane. Oh my God, you didn't intentionally do that motion, right? People like wave to the audience, right? He purposefully did the direct fucking motion. Okay, I can make a clear distinction between those types of things.
Do you think that pulling out of the
Now,
Paris thing?
if you were like
Yeah,
waving to the audience and they were like showing a picture of him waving to the audience and being like, "Oh my gosh, he's trying to do a Nazi salute," I would be up in here and like and be like, "Yeah, that's a ridiculous thing to do." But he did the fucking motion directly. Like, I'm sorry, what could he do in front of you for you to actually believe that he was going to do that intentionally?
yeah, yeah. I guess I just have like one more thing to ask. Do you think that pulling out of the Paris thing that Trump signed on the first day? Do you think
It's
that
moving
was
in the wrong direction. Because
so?
I believe that we need to fight climate change. Trump doesn't even believe that the climate's going to start warming, right? Or continuing to warm. He thinks it's going to start cooling and that science just doesn't know it yet. So he doesn't even actively look at what the science is. That's what he
Do
was
you?
asked about the California fires and saying that the vegetation management isn't the only thing that you have to do. And Joe, thank you so much for the $30 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Tweet some W's for Joe in the comment section for the $30. Thank you so much.
So do you think that like China paying 50 million compared to us paying 200, like I mean that's a problem, right? Like do you think maybe he's just trying to renegotiate and have more
If
countries
he's
pay an equal fair share,
okay,
or
so
like
he's trying.
before going back in?
For example, he's trying to renegotiate through the use of tariffs, right?
I don't know through the use of tariffs. I'm not big. I don't know a lot about tariffs. I wouldn't. I don't know. Like you would say that they do
So
wrong. I've
what
heard
is
people
Trump
saying
trying
how
to
they're doing it right.
renegotiate?
Just the amount that they're paying in the Paris agreement because they're paying like $200 million for that.
Okay, okay. So then you understand that the reason why we're paying that much in the agreement is because like we need to transition, and it's like we're gonna save more money by doing that. So like, let me give an example. If the environment is negatively impacted, that means we get less money. Does that make sense?
That we get less
More.
money.
Let me give you an example. Ali, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for the dollar. Thank you. So like, let me give you an example. So, when there's more severe weather, do you think that there's more destruction?
More severe weather? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if climate change yields scenarios in which there's more severe weather, there's going to be more destruction, right? Greater costs yielded on the American people. Okay,
Yeah,
so money we spend into this, right, is more likely to reduce the likelihood of those types of things happening that would lose us stuff in the future. So that's just
yeah,
one example of the plenty that I can give you of the effects of climate change. That's just one. There's so many other things. We're talking about ocean acidification, talking about the ocean warming, talking about like the common temperatures changing. I appreciate that, Had Mustache. Thank you so much, which can lead to difference in crop yields, agricultural conditions, climate, plenty of different types of issues that we can bring up that are very huge issues.
yeah. I mean, from what I heard, getting out of this or this treaty is saving us taxpayer dollars, and I get that. That's, I mean, that's what I heard from it. So that's why I thought that it was a good thing. I don't think that a country like China, I mean, they're a huge country that they're making a
So,
lot of money and they're bringing a lot of
so let's transition before China does. Let's transition before every economy everywhere around the world, and let's be the leading fucking face of the technological revolution, right? Because the
yeah,
future is renewable energy. Whether you like it or not, the science indicates the future has to be renewable energy. So why shouldn't
mhm,
we be on the cutting edge of what the future is going to be? This is
yeah,
like saying you can identify that we're about to go into the industrial revolution and you're arguing to not industrialize.
yeah,
And I'm
okay,
like,
yeah,
yo, we should industrialize before everyone else.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. I get it. I don't want to take up too much more of your time because I'm kind of just rambling on from now. But I appreciate you letting me up, and I appreciate the talk. And yeah, if there's anything that you wanted to ask me more about what I thought, then I'm
Appreciate
for
you
it. But
coming
I don't
up.
think. Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's go on to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Did you vote Trump?
Of course I did. Twice.
And Lauren, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. Great job with the law and ethics test. Now, why'd you vote Trump?
Because I'm a Mexican immigrant and I want to secure the border.
Okay, that's a goal. What's Trump's policy to do that?
I like remain in Mexico. I like the reform of the birthright citizenship.
Okay, so one that's not constitutional to renew
is.
birthright citizenship. The court.
He's not redoing it. He's reforming it.
There was a judge.
It's already in the definition, right? It says it says under our laws, and if they're illegal immigrants, they're not under our laws.
So you know that our laws affect tourists who are not legally citizens.
Yeah.
So then, what the fuck do you mean laws don't apply to
tourists aren't
non-citizens?
born here in the U.S., dumbass.
You think laws don't
I'm
apply
talking about
to
people being born in the U.S.
Yeah, you don't think laws. You think laws don't apply to
No,
non-citizens?
I think at least one parent should be a U.S. citizen for the child to become a U.S. citizen. Why do you disagree?
So wait, say that one more time.
I think at least one parent should be a U.S. citizen for the child to become a U.S. citizen, which is what he's trying to do, and I support that.
I don't think that's necessary.
Why?
Like, for example, right, if there was like a kid that was born in this country, they are 15 years old, they've been in this country their whole life, I don't think that their parents should be kicked out of the country.
Yeah, no, he's not grandfathering it in. It's literally starting in 30 days.
Do you think their parents should be deported?
No, he's not doing that either. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What? Okay, wait. So
It's not going to affect anyone.
I thought you just wanted.
Hold on,
I thought.
let me
Wait.
finish.
Do you think that
kind
kid,
of uneducated about what's happening?
Do you think that kid should be deported?
No, and you kind of seem uneducated to what's happening, right?
I seem uneducated. You just said that you don't know what overturn.
You don't know what he's talking about.
Hey, can you be quiet, please, and let me speak?
How are you going to defend something you don't know about?
I'm currently speaking about it and talking about it, and I do know about it, and you're gaslighting me about it, right? I'm not wrong.
You're wrong, bro.
Can I please finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so people who are in this country, based upon that birthright citizenship, won't have that. If they were born in this country and their parents are not legally here, right? Well, then under your view, they should be deported.
That's not what
you just said. What's your view?
That's starting in 30 days, right? 30 days from now, children that are born in the U.S. need to have at least one parent that is a U.S. citizen to become a U.S. citizen. That's it. That's it. We're not deporting anyone.
Hold on. So if people have already violated the crime, you don't want to enforce their violation of the crime?
Do you?
Okay, so then why would you
engage
in... Wait, so then how about
Wait, do you?
Wait, listen.
Yes or no?
Listen. You're not listening.
You're not listening. You can't even answer a question because
shut the fuck up. I'm about to answer the damn question. Shut the fuck up. Be quiet.
It's easy.
I'm trying to answer the question and you're not letting me answer. I do not think it should be enforced in that circumstance. But the point that I'm getting to is that reasoning that you just provided then means that you would not deport anyone that's in the country illegally because they've already committed the crime. And you haven't set the particular law in a manner in which to go against that.
No,
otherwise, if you're saying that there's
Trump's stance on it.
Wait, so do you think the Constitution currently right now says that you can remove birthright citizenship?
No, or you can't remove birthright citizenship, but you can make it so at least one parent is a citizen for the child to become a citizen. And also Trump's stance, hold on, Trump's stance
that's not removing birthright
citizenship. Let me
citizenship.
finish. I let you finish. Trump's stance isn't to go back and deport children that were already born in the U.S. No, he's saying starting in 30 days,
mass deportation.
Children that are born, mass deportations of criminals, people that are already in here illegally.
Oh wait,
right?
So if you're a criminal, if you're a criminal and you're trying to come into the country, you should be deported. But if you're a criminal and you were already born in the country and you're Donald Trump, you should be elected as president of the United States.
That's not how it works, buddy. If a child is born in the U.S. prior to this change, they're already a citizen, so he's not going to.
No, but just clarify. If you're a criminal in the country, right?
Yeah, you're going to try to deflect.
You came from another country, right? You should be kicked out of the country and you should be deported. But Donald Trump, being a criminal held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, right? Just because he was born in the United States, he should be elected as president. If there was an immigrant in the country that was here illegally that had done everything Donald Trump has done, you would say that they should be deported.
That's a huge deflection. But no, Trump's white collar crimes don't, and political prosecution doesn't compare at all to what gang members and MS-13 and Trent Aragua are doing at the border. And you trying to compare the two is disgusting and disingenuous, and you know that.
When did I make any comparison of any of those groups that you just brought up? I didn't talk about any of those groups. I just said that Donald Trump is a terrible candidate and you should not support him. What the fuck are you talking about?
You have to mute me. It's very telling
because you just want to cut me off and I'm trying to explain
people getting
something.
trying to compare people getting deported that are violent criminals to Trump's political prosecution and 37 white collar fucking
Trump
felonies.
is a violent criminal.
A violent criminal. What violent crime did he commit?
Listen,
what violent crime did he commit?
He's violent and
what violent crime did he commit?
He's violent and he's a criminal. He was held
crime.
civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman.
Did he commit a violent crime?
He was held civilly liable of, listen,
A violent crime.
he can't listen. I'm saying, when I say he's a violent criminal, I'm saying he's violent and a criminal, okay? Meaning that he was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, he's violent, right? And he was also a criminal. He's convicted of 34 felonies.
That's so disingenuous, and you're deflecting so hard. He's a violent criminal because he's violent and he's a criminal.
Yes, he's a violent criminal.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yes.
What violent crime did he commit?
He's violent, and he's a criminal.
He hasn't committed a single violent crime, and you're trying to compare Trump to criminals at the
Is sexual abuse violent?
Genuine.
Is sexual abuse violent?
I would say if it's a violent crime, yeah, it's a violent crime.
Is sexual abuse violent?
Why was there no police report?
Is forceful penetration he can't answer the question. Is forceful penetration of a woman's vagina against her will violent?
Yeah, I would say so, but even Jean Carroll said it wasn't.
So she did say it was violent. She did say it was violent. She's just saying that it's not violent in the way that you view it, right? But SA is inherently violent. If you forcefully penetrate a woman's vagina against her will, that is violent, right? You agree that what we're referencing there is violent. Stop fucking walking around the reality. It's a crazy deflection that you bring up Trump's crimes or supposed civil. Whenever I address it and I make a point, you get mad that I did address and made that point. You had no issue with it when you were referring to it earlier, saying, oh, what violent crime did he commit? What violent crime did he commit? You had no issue with referencing it then, but immediately when you had no basis for your fucking position, I showed how fucking dog shit it was. You immediately backed off the position because you have no fucking intellectual spine. Absolutely fucking nothing.
You're crashing out, buddy. Calm down.
I'm not crashing out.
It's funny you had to deflect from the border to try to compare.
I'm pointing out your hypocrisy because you have fucking no intellectual spine.
You're talking to a Mexican immigrant. I would know what the fuck I'm talking about. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you're crashing out because you're getting shit on in your own little live.
I'm not crashing out. How am I getting shit on? Name one point I lost on. Name one point.
You said Trump was a violent criminal. He's not a fucking violent criminal. He hasn't committed a single violent.
Oh, he's violent and a criminal. He's violent and a criminal. Sexual abuse is violent. Forcefully penetrating a woman's vagina against her will is violent. You agreed with me. Forceful penetration of a woman's vagina against her view is violent. And now you're going back on that, acting like acting like that was not said in the fucking conversation. Kim, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you so much. What do you mean if that is true? It is fucking true that sexual abuse is violent. And if you don't fucking accept that, you're a grave apologist. You're fucking disgusting because you're a weirdo. Oh, you're just sitting there and you're not going to acknowledge what I'm saying. Acknowledge what I just said.
Let's break it down. So if sexual penetration is violent, why wasn't Trump charged with a violent sexual crime?
Appreciate the diamond gun. Thank you so much. Because listen, I was thanking someone. Appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan, for the galaxy. So
you see how he can't shut up, right? It's because of statute of limitations. I've said this a million times in my life. Statute of limitations, which means it's been too many years since the event occurred where in New York, you cannot try them for criminal cases. There are thousands of other people where this law was applicable to. There's something called the Child Survivors Act and the Adult Survivors Act, which both allowed for there to be extended time in which you could try someone who has sexually abused you in the context of New York, in the context of a civil court, which that's not true for the context of the criminal courts, but it's true for the civil courts. And that's allowed for plenty of people that were sexually abused by literally people in the Catholic Church to come out and to hold their abusers accountable, right? So for you to not acknowledge victims, right, in the context of these civil cases because of the statute of limitations basis, right, is saying that you reject thousands of other people that were sexually assaulted and held their abusers accountable.
No, I think people that are
apologists, so maybe you'll say that.
I think they should make a police report. I don't think they should wait 30 years to try to accuse someone running for office.
A child?
Can you let me speak?
Wait. So I think
they should make a police report. I don't think they should wait 30 years to try to politically prosecute someone running for office. Also, you said it's a violent crime to penetrate someone against their will. Why isn't Trump charged with a violent crime then?
So again,
you're spewing misinformation and
you're lying. You're lying. No, you're the one misinformation. You're the one engaging in misinformation. It's the fucking statute of limitations, like I just said. That's the only reason it's not tried in a criminal case. It's tried in a civil case, like I just fucking explained to you, that had a jury of 9 people that unanimously decided this. But you don't give a shit about the evidence. You don't give a shit about the jury's fucking determination. All you care about is coming on this platform and demeaning fucking victims that were sexually assaulted, that held their abusers accountable decades later, because we have a society and we exist in a society where people like you exist that demean victims when they come out and undermine them and don't fucking believe them because you want to uphold a scenario where people who abuse people, right, are able to run for office and get fucking elected. That's what you want to do. You don't care about victims. You don't care about women. You don't care about anyone who's negatively impacted by people in positions of power because you can't fucking understand that if someone was literally abused by someone and they see that that person's running for political office, it could possibly be a fucking incentive to come out and to make sure that they can't fucking negatively impact other people in that type of way. That could possibly create scenarios where you have the ability to fund, right, a set of lawyers to be able to hold that person accountable, or to be able to have the message, the fucking media attention to hold that powerful person accountable. Do you understand the types of scenarios that victims have to go through in order to hold their abusers accountable? And to say that their story is not fucking legitimate because they didn't come out right away and they didn't do a police report right away shows how fucking little emotional intelligence you have, shows the little you fucking know about people that probably are in your fucking life that have been negatively impacted by this. The multiple people in my life that have been negatively impacted by this that took fucking decades to come out, I fucking believe them. That happened to them. And I can fucking sit here and say that because I'm a fucking man. Right? And you can't fucking sit here and say that because you're a fucking grape apologist that wants to support an abuser. That's what you want to do. I'm not disingenuous. I state the fucking facts how they are.
God. Okay, can I speak now?
One more thing. I state the facts as they are. I'm not disingenuous. Now, you may go on your misinformation rampage because you can go on your misinformation rampage. Now, go for it, buddy. Everything I said was factual. Everything you were about to say is fucking misinformation, lies, and straight fucking propaganda.
Let me speak now. I'll let you crash out.
Go ahead.
I'm up here to be a rape apologist or whatever. No, I didn't. Actually, I came up here to talk about the immigration, and you got destroyed talking about birthright citizenship. So you had to deflect to Trump's charges, and then you had to crash out and act like you have a moral high ground.
Still hasn't addressed it, by the way. Hasn't addressed it. I can address the birthright citizenship. Should we just argue that, but don't deflect?
Muting me. I'm trying
not
to
addressing the point.
Statement. I'll let you crash out and make a whole list of things, okay?
Go ahead.
So I came up here to talk about immigration. I came up here to talk about immigration and birthright citizenship. You deflected because you got dog walked.
You see how he's doing it again?
And now you're trying to talk about Trump's. Yeah, and now you're trying to talk about Trump's charges, right? When you're being disingenuous, you're trying to hold this moral high ground that you care about women, you care about grape, and you care about being a white knight. Oh, you care so much. Dude, it's so disingenuous. I can see it in your fucking eyes. You don't give a fuck. You don't care. Because when people are getting raped at the border, you don't care. You deflect it. But Trump's a rapist. What aboutism? Dude, you're disgusting. You're disingenuous. I can see it in your eyes, and I hope everyone else can see it too. You're getting dog walked on your own fucking channel with 6,000 people watching. It's hilarious.
So you saying I don't care about grape at the border when I supported the
Obviously fucking not.
Oh, stop talking.
Deflected.
Let me speak.
You deflected.
Let me speak.
You deflected.
Let me speak. You saying I don't care about grape at the border is actually ironic when Donald Trump was the one who called for people in Congress to undermine a bipartisan border bill because he cared more about getting elected on the border being an issue than actually finding solutions for the border. So you can sit here and virtue signal, act like you care about the border, but your side doesn't give a shit about the border and just cares about being elected. Now actually address what I fucking said because you didn't still. Go.
What,
the sexual abuse. How you fucking literally don't acknowledge any of the conditions of the case. You don't acknowledge anything that happened to victims.
I didn't acknowledge the fact that she waited 30 years
because you want to support an abuser.
She went and tried to say it wasn't violent, that she said it could be sexy. Some people think it's sexy.
No, you're just lying now.
Yeah, she's
just lying.
Listen,
you're lying now. I told you would fucking go on this misinformation rampage and lie because you have no fucking intellectual spine or any basis to your actual opinions. Right? If you actually look at what is the case, she was referencing how other people in society think it's sexy and that's a bad thing. And it creates conditions in which perpetuate grape culture and create scenarios where people like Donald Trump who are abusers are looked up to and are not looked down on. That's a part of society that is really bad and negatively impacts women. And apparently you don't fucking know about that because you have never talked to someone on any type of emotional basis to actually have someone literally bring up to you that they've been assaulted in this way because it's impacting them. Because no one knows or everyone knows around you that they're not safe around you to bring up these types of things. And that's why you never fucking learned about it. Because you create a culture around you, a perception around you where people don't feel safe enough to talk to you about these types of things. Because this is a fucking reality for millions of people in this country. It is a fucking reality. Their family members, their loved ones, 7,000 people, and you act like all of these type of things are just fucking bullshit because you don't fucking care to look into it because you're too fucking lazy and because all you've heard is the Republican fucking narrative and propaganda about it. It shows exactly how little you fucking care about people who are negatively affected. And you're gonna sit here and you're gonna project and say that I'm that same fucking way because you feel that way when you look at yourself in the mirror. So how about you sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and realize there are people in this fucking country that actually fight for the better fucking America, and you're not one of them. Right? So get your head out of your ass and fucking do it for once in your life.
That's actually
you actually care about people.
Unlike you, that's pretending to care about grape, letting these people that are lying about it, politically prosecuting someone running for office, actually demeans everyone that's actually been raped and real survivors. So you are perpetuating grape culture by allowing these people to to persecute someone running for office, lying about this shit, when real survivors and real rape is happening at the border, and you don't fucking give a shit. You deflect to Trump. Oh, but Trump's a rapist. You voted for someone that's a rapist. That's political prosecution, and you fucking know it. And you don't give a fuck about it actually happening at the border, so you're perpetuating rape. And you're trying to talk fast, trying to pin all this shit on me personally. Oh, people around you are probably scared to talk to you about rape. Dude, you're disgusting and disingenuous.
So
how about we go back to birthright citizenship instead of you trying to call me a
before you do, the justice system works and all of those statistics are accurate and all of those stories are legitimate when it comes to the perpetuators of these crimes being immigrants, but when the perpetuators of these crimes are rich multi-billionaires, then there's a different standard. When they're running for president, then it's a different standard. You believe all these cases where the people who perpetuated these fucking horrible atrocities when they were immigrants, but you can't fucking apply that standard with Donald Trump. What is this fucking dehumanizing standard that you're willing to apply to immigrants, but you're not willing to apply to Trump? You say innocent until proven guilty with Donald Trump, but it's not innocent until proven guilty with any of those immigrants. That's interesting.
It's pretty obvious when they've tried to unalive this man in Pennsylvania that they're trying to take this man down. So when they do political prosecution, it's pretty fucking obvious.
Frankie, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. Hannah, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much, Hannah. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Catherine, thank you so much for the $5. Stacy, thank you so much for the $25. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kia, thank you so much for the $1. Bethany, thank you for the $5. Bethany, thank you for the $5. Daniel, thank you so much for the $5. Melanie, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. Ali, thank you so much. I appreciate the $1. Danny, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Danny, thank you so much for the $2. Lauren, thank you for the $10. Jess, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much, Jess. I really appreciate it. Ali, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Meredith, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Taylor, thank you for the $9.99. Thank you so much. I don't block anyone. That must have been a mod. Ani, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Rebecca, thank you for the $5. Frankie, thank you for the $5. Hannah, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Now let me get on to...
Thank you for anyone that sent me coins. Can
I go to PayPal?
Appreciate
Joe with the $50. Thank you so much, Joe, on PayPal for the $50. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Joe in the comment section right now for the $50? Thank you so much. And Jocelyn, thank you for the $2. Every business relies on people buying products. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Thanks for the donations, guys.
Absolutely.
The coins, guys.
Hey, Christians for Trump. Can you say thank you to Joe for the $50?
No, I'm talking to people that are
donating. And can you say thank you for Miriam for the $25 on PayPal? Thank you so much for stand up. Can you say thank you to Miriam for the $25 on PayPal?
Weird to flex living off other people's donations, dude.
Like, can you say thank you to Olivia for the $5? Thank you so much.
Do you believe in earning your money or no?
Thank you, Olivia.
Do you believe in earning your money?
I think I earn things. I have to deal with you all day.
Donations are earned?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. That's kind of gross.
Why is that gross?
So do you think donations need to be earned? So I can't just go out and donate to a homeless person. They need to earn it first?
When I say earned, right, it is the case that I provide a service.
So how did you earn it? Yeah. How did you earn it?
I'm providing a service.
What service?
This. I provided a debate platform where 7.2 thousand people have free content to entertain themselves.
Are watching you get dog walked because you don't know shit about what's going on.
Well, you haven't made an actual legitimate point. You can say that. You can say that, but it shows how little you are.
Did you not try to say people were going to get deported?
You're so little. You're so little that you have to make yourself feel big and feel better by trying to say that I feel like I'm getting dog walked when you're actually the one that needs to look in the mirror and realize that you're getting absolutely dog walked.
That's your only.
If you think that Christians for Trump is getting dog walked, can you type 3 in the comment section if you think Christians for Trump is getting dog walked? Hold on. And by the way, Amber, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much, Amber, on PayPal for the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Amber. Thank you. Look at all those 3s, buddy. You're getting dog walked, bud. How does it feel? How does it feel getting dog walked? How does it feel, buddy? How does it feel? Do you like being dog walked? Do you have are you into being dog walked? Is that what it is?
You're crashing.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you for the $2. Thank you so much.
So you don't want to talk anymore? You're just going to try to talk
Nicole,
about
thank you for the $1. Melanie, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. Yikes, but this guest is doing it for free. He's like, oh my God, what are you doing? You have no life when you're doing it. Literally, when I'm doing this and I'm running the platform, making the world a better place. But you came on here for free, right? And you're not even doing anything. You don't even think you're doing anything productive here.
Walking you because you're trying to think that birthright citizenship is going to deport people when it's not. You're wrong. Mm-hmm. And also, the fact that you're just trying to talk about donations the whole.
Wait, so if you want to deport people who are in the country undocumented, and you believe that people who are here through birthright citizenship are not here legally, well then are you saying that people who are here illegally should be able to stay in the country?
You're talking to a Mexican immigrant, so I know a lot.
That's not answering the question. Thank you very
Yeah,
much for
I
not
think
answering the
people.
question.
I don't think people that benefited from birthright citizenship before should be deported, and that's what Trump thinks too.
Wait, so you think people who are illegally in the country should be able to stay?
People who benefited from birthright citizenship aren't illegal.
Oh wait, under your view they are.
You're ignorant. No, they're not.
Wait, but you said that birthright citizenship.
You don't know my views. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening.
So you said birthright citizenship.
ignorant.
You said birthright citizenship is not constitutional, which means it's illegal, right? Right? You would consider it illegal because they were not given citizenship under your definition. Okay, so what is the basis for citizenship under your view?
The 14th Amendment.
No. What's the basis? Like, what qualifications do you have to meet?
Oh, so like the reform, it says only one parent needs to be a U.S. citizen for the child to become a U.S. citizen. Why do you disagree with that?
Okay, I have a question.
I asked you a question first. Actually.
No. Like, I'll explain. Like, if there's a kid born in the United States and their parents are not U.S. citizens, are you telling me that they are not a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how it works.
So there are people.
That's how it works in a lot of other countries.
I get it. But there are people.
normal.
There are people who have lived here their entire lives that their
It's
parents.
not going to affect people that have already benefited from.
I know, but under your definition, those people are illegally in the country because they don't meet your qualifications for citizenship because their parents are not legally here. So if they don't meet your qualifications for citizenship, under your view, they're illegally in the country. So either you're okay with people illegally who came illegally into the country, right, to stay in the country, or you think that they should be deported. So which one is it?
Make any sense because they are legal. If they benefited from birthright citizenship, they are now legal. Those people that are adults now that were born in the U.S., right, are legal.
If you don't think it's a justified basis for citizenship, then under your view, it's not legal.
In general, it's because you get dog walked every time that you have to make these shitty fucking arguments. I'm
not making a shitty argument. You're getting dog walked.
Dude, you're saying that people are going to get deported because they reform birthright.
Ninka, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. And then Evan, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much, Evan. I really appreciate it. Thank you on Venmo. Casey, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Say the N-word?
No, I didn't. What?
Oh, it sounds like
fuck. What are you talking about?
No, I'm gonna go check the recording. Don't worry.
What are you talking about? I'm about to kick you for saying something so stupid, dude. What are you talking about? I was reading someone's name.
Any excuse to kick me right now.
Their name is spelled Nanena.
Say it.
And I was saying their name.
Say it again.
I think it's Nanina, but I read it with
How'd you say it the first time?
Nanika?
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
No, it just sounded funny, bro. It's fine.
Dude, you're just being weird, bro. Amber, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much, Amber. Thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. I never called you a grapist yourself. All right, that's really weird. I said you're a grape apologist, which you are. It's factual.
Actually, you are.
How?
Because you deflected from the border and the grape happening at the border.
I didn't. I think that there should be meaningful legislation to address this, and I think that Donald Trump undermined meaningful legislation to address this.
No, I would disagree. So, do you support deporting?
Are you Christian?
Yeah. Do you support deporting criminals?
Yeah, if people have committed violent crimes, yes.
Great.
But the hypocrisy that I'm pointing out is that you voted for a violent criminal. Like you voted for a guy.
We went to that. Yeah,
you voted for a guy who's a convicted felon, who's a criminal, and you voted for a guy held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman. You knew nothing about the case and just disputed it. But go for it.
No, when you try calling him a violent criminal, which he's not. So you just try to spew misinformation to your little watchers and hope that they just stick.
Okay. Here's the way that.
And they go around spewing shit like Trump is a violent.
Christians for Trump. Here is the way that I'm using the term. I don't want to get hyper fixated on the way that I'm using the term. You don't have to use this term in order to acknowledge that what Donald Trump did is violent, bad, disgusting, and it should never lead to the position of presidency, right? But like it is the case that I'm referencing the fact that he's a criminal and that he's violent. Okay.
Yeah, I would disagree. It's political prosecution, but
and actually, honestly, I think he should be considered a violent criminal anyway. Even if you didn't look at it from that perspective, the reason is because I think sexual abuse is violent, and I think that it should be considered a crime, right? I think there should be no statute of limitations. So in the same way that I would say that like someone who has enslaved people, right, own them as property, and beat them, right? I think that person, even if they haven't beat them, if you've owned someone as property, I think you're a violent criminal. Even though it was legal in the past and certain points in time in which it was legal, I still think those people were violent criminals, even though legally at that time it wasn't defined as a crime. Does it make sense?
Yeah, last I checked, grape is still illegal. It's still a violent crime. If she would have done a police report, and charged him with the violent crime, he would be a violent criminal. But she waited 30 years until he was running for office. So he's not a violent criminal.
It wasn't 30
It's that
years.
simple. You're just being disingenuous. How many years was it?
Can you do
How many years was
2019?
it?
Can you do 2019 minus 1996?
2019 minus what? 1996?
1996.
That'd be 23 years. She waited 23 years
Okay.
to
And it's
while he was
common.
running for office.
It's common for victims,
Which
and also
actually-
I've explained earlier.
I know
I've
you tried to do this.
I also explained earlier that it is the case that victims take decades to come out. Many of them don't come out. Many of them do never come out, right? Because of the societal stigmas and because of people like you, because you're a fucking grape apologist and you're a disgusting individual, right? That's exactly what it is. That's the reason why people don't come out in plenty of circumstances, because they're
I
stigmatized
think it should be
for coming
punished.
out. They're not believed, right? And they are literally like, she's gotten death threats. She's been tormented by people who are Trump supporters because simply she came out and talked about the fact that she was abused by Donald Trump. Okay, that's why now you're victim blaming her and saying, "Oh, she didn't come out early enough, so therefore it didn't fucking happen to her." You're a disgusting fucking pig.
I think grape should be punished highly, even possibly with the death.
Wait, I have a question.
But if it's a criminal case,
I just thought about this. You think
What?
Jesus walked on water, but you don't believe Eugene Carroll was sexually assaulted?
well, there was more witnesses for Jesus walking
No,
on
there
water
wasn't.
than Eugene Carroll. Yeah, there
No,
was.
there
So
wasn't. No, there
it's
wasn't.
okay, buddy. You
No,
can try to
what
deflect
fir-
another
what-
way.
what first
So can
person-
you let me finish then?
What first person source in the
Can you let
Bible?
me finish then?
What first person source in the Bible? Tell me. What first person source? I'd love to hear it. Or raising from the dead. Tell me any of them. Give me
Stop
the first
deflecting
person
to
sources.
Christianity just because you hate Christians. Can you stop deflecting?
Do you want to address my
You
point?
deflected from the border to
He's
Eugene
gonna
Carroll.
say that I'm hating Christians and not address my point.
What you're trying to deflect?
Oh, you little
the point
baby!
that we're
You
trying
can't
to
address
talk
my
about.
you can't address my
Deflecting.
point. You
What's
can't
your point?
address my
What's your point, buddy? What's your point?
So you don't believe Eugene Carroll was sexually assaulted because of quote unquote lack of evidence? Oh, it's not a crime. Yet you believe that.
I didn't say that.
You
I think it wasn't a violent
So
crime.
do you believe it?
I think she.
Do you believe it happened?
I think he was found liably civil.
I'm asking you a very, very basic question. Do you believe that Eugene Carroll was sexually abused by Donald Trump?
I wouldn't know.
You don't know?
I wouldn't know.
But you do know that
wouldn't
Jesus.
know.
But you do know that Jesus
I
rose
wouldn't
from the
know.
dead. You do know that Jesus rose from the dead.
I believe that. I
Really?
wouldn't know either, but I believe it. Is
Oh,
that a
okay.
problem?
You don't
Do you
know.
hate that?
Okay, so it's justified for you to believe without knowing. So you think it's justified to believe that Donald Trump is a rapist?
No,
Why not?
because he's not a violent criminal. He was not.
Wait,
found.
wait. Again, he would be a violent
no
criminal.
conviction.
Do you think rapists are violent criminals?
Yes.
Okay. So again, if the statement is that he's a rapist, right? What is your
Which he's
basis for
not.
saying that's not
Which he's
justified?
not.
What is it? Wait, what
Which
is
he's
your
not.
What is the basis
Which
for
he's
you?
not.
What is the basis for you saying it's not justified?
Why are
to
you
believe-
deflecting so hard, buddy?
What is the basis for you saying that it's not justified for someone to believe that he is a rapist?
Because he wasn't found guilty in a criminal court.
So are you saying you have to be found guilty in a criminal court in order for it to be the case that it happened?
To be guilty of a sexual crime, yes.
Okay, so then I'll
Which is
ask,
what you're saying, because you're saying
I'll ask
rape
you
is
this
a
question.
sexual crime,
I'll
right?
ask you this
Hold
question.
on.
Push the
Hold
hand
on.
question.
You're getting dog walked again.
Prior to Jeffrey Epstein, be quiet and listen.
You gotta mute me because you're getting dog walked.
Yeah, no, because you're not listening. Prior to Jeffrey Epstein, right, being found guilty for sexual crimes, was he guilty of sexual crimes?
No.
Wait, you don't think that he did?
crime?
Here, let me clarify it. Let me
crime?
clarify the question. Prior to him being guilty by law for the crimes, did he still do them?
Rapist, and rape is a violent crime.
Hey, do you think that he was a sex trafficker prior to being found guilty for it?
Muting me because you're getting dog walked, so now you're deflecting again. Now you're deflecting again, buddy.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was a sex trafficker prior to the conviction?
This is too easy. This is like the easiest liberal live I've gone on so far. You deflect every fucking 5 seconds. You tried saying Trump is a rapist. Grape is a violent crime. Trump.
Yeah, he's not answering the question, and that's actually sick for you to not answer this question. I'm going to ask you the question one more time. Epstein, prior to being found guilty, right, did he engage in sex trafficking?
Yes. Now let me finish instead of muting fucking dog bark.
So you can believe that they did it without a criminal conviction, right? And also, you don't believe Trump's criminal conviction for his falsifying of business records, do you?
So again, you tried saying Trump is a rapist. Grape is a violent crime, and Trump is not a violent criminal. Therefore, he is not a rapist. Very simple. You're getting fucking dog walked on your own live again, and you're trying to deflect now to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, the guy that was arrested under Trump. So can you address the fact that you said Trump? Hold on. You said Trump is a grape.
Do you think forceful penetration of a woman's vagina against her will is grape? You've already said yes in the conversation, and now you're trying to run this fucking argument again. This is embarrassing. You fucking idiot.
Grape. And Trump is not guilty of grape, you dumbass.
Dude, he is, because he did it. When we say guilty, we mean they fucking did it, right? Do you agree with me?
Criminal. Okay, so he's not a criminal.
So was Jeffrey Epstein guilty
Holy
prior
shit,
to?
You were so fucking stupid. And this is your live, dude? Listen, you're a professional debater?
Can you listen? You are not able to engage in a debate. You are actually one of the dumbest guests I've ever had on my live. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be totally fucking serious. I talk to people every day. I preach the meerkat. I talk to idiots every day. You rank at the top of all of them. You fucking moron. Engage with the legitimate point that I'm bringing up right now. This is not a difficult thing to understand. Right? You are purposefully not engaging with this point because you know it makes you look bad. And you're trying to act like I'm the one that looks bad. You're fucking delusional, like actually insane. You believe forceful penetration of a woman's vagina against her will is grape. You believe the fucking resurrection happened with no fucking evidence. All right, I'm asking you, from your perspective, is it justified to believe that E. Jean Carroll was forcefully penetrated against her will by Donald Trump? Is that justified belief? Is that a justified belief?
I'd say no. I think it's political prosecution.
Oh, it's not a justified belief.
Yeah,
so why is it not a justified belief?
And what the fuck
Seriously,
did Jesus have to do?
Answer the question. Why is it not a justified belief?
Because it's criminal. It's political prosecution. She waited until he was running for office.
There is no prosecution. We're not even talking about prosecution.
Yeah, exactly. Deflect again.
We're not even talking about prosecution.
So you said Trump is a violent rapist.
You are the one deflecting. You are the one deflecting. You are deflecting right now. You are actually deflecting. You're deflecting and gaslighting and trying to act like it's me.
If you have to mute me, you're getting dog walked.
What persecution? No, it's not.
It's that simple.
No, it means you're not addressing a point.
I am, actually. I'm addressing every single point.
Yo, Joe, thank you so much for the $50 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Joe. Can we get some W's for Joe in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Joe, for the $50. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Joe in the comment section for absolutely cooked him? Thank you for standing up for survivors. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Joe. Thank you so much. Christina, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you so much. Christina, I appreciate it. Wawa, thank you so much for the $2. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Nima, thank you so much for the $1. Madison, thank you for the $10. Rachel, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Madison, thank you for the $10. Rachel, thank you for the $1. Benjamin, thank you for the $3.69. And Nicole, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Watch, he's gonna lie. Watch.
Disingenuous as fuck. You don't care about grape survivors. And the fact that you're trying to bet off of them, you're disgusting. You're disgusting.
So the one who voted for a guy who literally raped a woman.
You're giving white tea privilege too, dude. Trying to talk down on me as a Mexican immigrant. You need to watch your privilege. As a man, as a white tea man, you're the one that perpetuates grape culture. So you need to watch your privilege. But
that's crazy. I don't think only white men perpetuate grape culture. One thing. Two, I do believe that I have white privilege. I don't dispute that. That's like a fucking obviously, like, that's an obvious thing. No shit. I don't have to worry about things on the basis of like me being negatively impacted because of my skin color. I obviously acknowledge that. The same thing goes for like being a man. I don't have to like literally worry about being negatively impacted on the basis of being a man, right? But women in this country do have to worry about that when it comes to being women because people like you will literally demean them. Right?
It's incredibly ironic that you're a white tea guy sitting here calling a Mexican immigrant a grape apologist because I want to secure the border and stop my people from getting raped.
It's not for securing the border. It's not for securing the border. It's for voting for a rapist. That's why.
The fact that you're a grape apologist.
Why are you gaslighting?
I'm a Mexican immigrant.
Why are you gaslighting?
What do you mean? You're gaslighting me. You're calling me a grape apologist because I disagree with you and I think it's political prosecution. I think grape should be punished. I think grape should be highly punished.
You're a grape apologist for the victim blaming of grape victims. You're a grape apologist for literally voting for a rapist knowingly and continuing to justify voting for him. That's absolutely grape apology. Now you can sit there and you can act like all of these things are fake and not true when you have no fucking evidence. You have no reason to dispute them. But yeah, it means you're a fucking grape apologist. You can act like, oh, it's so terrible for me to call you a grape apologist, but that's just you trying to act like everyone's vilifying you because you have to constantly be the victim in your own world because you can't acknowledge any accountability for the wrong actions that you engaged in.
What
Look at a fucking mirror.
Do I engage in like what?
Grape apology.
How is that grape apology? I think victims
I
should come
explained.
forward.
I just explained.
Listen up, buddy, so you can tell that I'm not a grape apologist. I think people that are victims of grape should come out, make a police report, should have the ability to come out and voice their concerns and what happened to them. And I think the people that commit grape should be highly punished. I don't support people lying about grape. I don't support people politically prosecuting their enemies or going after people running for office because they're going to fix the country.
Okay.
That's simple. So how am I a grape apologist?
If they came out 23 years after coming out, or after it happening to them, would you dispute that it happened?
No, I think that they should have the courage to come out before. Because people like you are grape apologists.
I asked a specific question, right? If they came out 23 years after it happened, would you dispute that it happened to them?
No, as long as they're not going after a fucking president running for office. Otherwise, it's fucking obvious that it's political prosecution.
So what you're
Very
saying,
fucking obvious, especially after.
So what he's essentially arguing there, is that anyone who comes out against a president is fucking lying. That's what he just said. Because it's not the fact that she came out 20 years later.
Actually, so I couldn't even finish what I said. You muted me, so.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep fucking muting you. If you keep unmuting yourself, I'll fucking kick you from the live, and you can sit in the guest box until I fucking add you back up. So shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, be a little good boy, or I'm going to kick you from the fucking live and add you up from the box because you can't shut the fuck up because you're a little fucking child and can't listen to what I'm telling you.
You're crashing out because you're getting dog walked again.
You see what I mean? You can't even sit there and listen. So you didn't dispute based upon the fact that it was 23 years ago. What you did is you disputed it based upon the fact that they came out against a U.S. presidential candidate. So what you're saying is that anyone who came out against Donald Trump wouldn't be fucking justified. So it's not based on the evidence. It's not based upon when they came out. It's not based upon any of the fucking facts of the case. It's based upon the fact that Donald Trump is running for president of the United States. That's it. That's called a special exception. That's special pleading. And to sit there and to say that you're not going to accept that someone was sexually assaulted just because your guy's running for political office is a disgusting fucking little shitty fucking thing to do. And to say that that's somehow not making you a grape apologist is fucking disgusting. And one scenario under what your fucking worldview, your deluded fucking worldview, would anyone be a grape apologist under that definition? Fucking never. You are the definition of a grape apologist. Absolutely. And I will stand behind that fucking statement here day in, day fucking out. You sit here and act like I'm only fucking up here for one fucking reason because I'm calling you out for your bullshit. But because you can't take a fucking look in the mirror and take any accountability because where you learned accountability came from specifically is Donald fucking Trump. Zero fucking accountability, absolutely nothing. And that's exactly why we tell you not to vote for him, because this guy creates a society where men take no fucking accountability for the actions that they fucking engage in, because they live in a society where they're fucking coddled constantly, where they're told that nothing they can do is fucking wrong, where the society that they live in, if they do something wrong, fucking constantly sympathizes for them, where everyone who's not a man, right, would not be treated with the same fucking dignity. No one. Seriously, when do we ever treat women with that dignity? When did you treat Kamala Harris with that dignity? She was constantly demeaned her entire fucking presidential run because she didn't have fucking qualifications when she was one of the most accredited fucking candidates in the modern era, way more accredited than Donald Trump. You're gonna sit there and say that she wasn't fucking qualified or she had no fucking policies when all she had was fucking policies for healthcare, housing, child affordability, right? For literally prices, all of those things. She had policies for all of them. The child tax credit, the housing affordability policy through the tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes, the $50,000 tax deductible for small businesses. She had plans for all of that shit. And Donald Trump didn't have a fucking policy for any of that shit. He had concepts of a fucking plan. So to sit here and act like Donald Trump was so fucking okay and to vote for him is okay when Kamala Harris said all of those things way better is ridiculous. right? And to sit there and call us grape apologists for literally people getting sexually assaulted when coming across the border when Donald Trump fucking created the issue by undermining the border bill that would have been passed if Donald Trump did not undermine it is a disgusting fucking thing for you to sit here and not acknowledge. And the reason why you won't acknowledge it is because it makes you fucking look bad. And when you get back up on my live, you're not going to fucking acknowledge a single damn thing that I just said on this rant where everything I said was factual. You're going to sit there and not acknowledge shit. You're going to be like, oh my God, you said violent criminal. You're trying to change the topic. You're trying to deflect. You kicked me off. You muted me. Complain. You're vilifying me. Oh my God. You're trying to say that I'm a terrible person. You're saying we're so horrible and not acknowledge a single fucking thing that you did because you have zero fucking accountability and zero intellectual spine. That's what it is. Now watch this fucking absolute joke of a debate happen.
Damn, that was a crazy crash out. And you really just tried saying Trump created the problem at the border? That's also crazy. You really just say whatever the fuck comes to your head, doesn't it? You just say anything that comes to your head and you spew it like it's facts and expect your little followers to believe it. Trump created the problem at the border? Explain that one.
I literally did if you listened. He undermined the bipartisan border bill. It would have passed if not for Donald Trump, right?
Really?
This was acknowledged by
Biden
James
sign it?
Langford. It was acknowledged by James Langford.
Did Biden sign it?
Listen, it has to get passed through Congress first. It was acknowledged
So
by...
did Biden sign it?
Listen. Do I have to mute you?
So did Biden sign it?
Dude, no, because it didn't get passed through Congress.
Exactly. So Biden undermined it too, dude.
That is the dumbest thing
Dude,
that's ever
Biden
come out
didn't
of a
sign
guest.
it, bro. Why didn't he sign it? Damn, you had to get some water after that rant, huh? Crashing out that bad, being that disingenuous, acting on your live.
Because I have an absolute idiot on my live. He literally said, she said Biden undermined it. Biden undermined it because he didn't sign the bill. It has to be fucking passed. It has to be passed by Congress. He can't fucking sign a bill that hasn't been passed. I'm crashing out because I have to deal with fucking absolute morons like you. Like you fucking voted. You're the reason why Donald Trump was elected because you're such a fucking idiot that you didn't know fucking research. You're lazy as fucking. You didn't give a shit about women. That's what it is. You don't give a flying fuck. You don't care about anyone but yourself. And Jesus fucking Christ, we're gonna fucking pay for it. Everyone in this country is gonna find out because you fucked around. That's what's happening.
Cure cancer, you're gonna benefit from it, you fucking pussy. Then you're gonna go cry on TikTok. It actually wasn't him that cured cancer, it was somebody else.
What are you talking about? You can't address a single thing that I just said. Seriously, I literally said you were going to do this. Not address a single
fucking
thing.
Screaming bullshit. What do you mean?
Everything I'm saying is factual.
You muted me and started fucking screaming bullshit.
Because one,
okay,
you're
so where
insufferable.
where did they need Trump's signature for the bill?
It wasn't Trump's signature. It was that he called people.
They didn't need it, right?
Do you see what I mean?
They didn't need Trump for anything. So how did Trump?
This is what we're going to do. You cut me off every single fucking time I speak. I'm going to kick you from the live. And you can sit back in the guest box until I'm fucking done speaking. Because you're a damn child. I don't want to sit here fucking spamming the mute button because you're a fucking child on Call of Duty. Jesus Christ, dude. What the fucking is this conversation? Imagine being in a fucking relationship, trying to fucking engage in getting him to take any type of accountability. Jesus Christ, dude. That would be horrible. Oh my God, this is why there's a male loneliness epidemic. Because you can't fucking take accountability and people like Donald Trump get elected. That creates less fucking male accountability. Jesus Christ. Let's address it, right? The reason is because Donald Trump called people in Congress to undermine a bipartisan border bill. The bill would have passed if Donald Trump did not do this. It was acknowledged by Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. It was acknowledged by James Langford, who helped write the bill, who's a Trump-endorsed Republican. Now watch, he's not going to remember anything I just said. Did you listen to anything I just said?
Yeah, it was some bullshit. You tried to say Trump undermined it, but he had no power over it.
What did I say? Tell me.
You said he called them and told them not to sign it.
Who
so
did
Trump
I say?
Controls these people?
Wait, what were the names of the people I said upheld that statement?
Well, when you brought me up, it kind of cut off, but you started with
any
Mitch
of the
McConnell.
people.
You started with Mitch McConnell.
Okay, Mitch McConnell.
That's the only one I heard because you brought me up after crashing out. And it's also it's hilarious. You want to bring me down and make me wait to try to get rid of me as much as you can because I'm shitting on you. So yeah, go ahead.
No, it's because you constantly
you're trying to get rid of me because I'm fucking destroying you. But go ahead.
It's because you constantly talk over me. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, and James Langford, a Trump-endorsed Republican who helped write the bill, who was literally was a co-author. So I think you need to acknowledge, right, the people on the ground who are helping getting this passed, acknowledging from the Republican side that Donald Trump did this.
Okay, I don't think the Langford bill really fixed anything at the border. We would need a lot more judges.
It funded for more judges.
It did not enough though.
So would you rather have more or the same amount of judges?
More judges. We need more judges to be able to process all these people. It's pretty fucking obvious.
I'm just gonna let
Bill
you.
did not address that. The link for Bill didn't address that.
Yes, it did. It did more
You're
judges.
talking
Now,
about the one
listen,
with the,
can I
you're talking about
explain?
the one with the
Let me
hidden
please.
funding or without the hidden funding?
Okay, so again, what you're not understanding. Let
Are
me.
you talking about the one with the hidden funding?
you
or
stop
not
talking?
Funding?
Stop
Answer the
talking.
fucking question, you pussy.
I am fucking answering the question, you dumb fucker. You absolute dumb
You're
idiot.
crashing out. It's hilarious.
You fucking idiot. You're an idiot. You can't listen to anything I'm saying.
Not
You want to
femininity in
immediately
you.
fucking talk over
Were you
me
raised by a
every fucking
woman?
time. No shit, I was raised by women.
Only a woman though?
I have a father.
Oh.
What are you talking about? And why is that relevant? Are you saying?
Oh, you're
because
just very feminine.
Are you saying? Oh, I'm feminine. That's a fucking good thing. Are you saying you haven't been around women? I'm sorry, you don't have any women around your life that care for you or that really wanted to treat you how to be a better fucking human being, and that all you had was shitty fucking men around you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that women in my life cared about me enough to show me, right, how to fucking treat women. That's what it is. You're like so fucking mad that I'm feminine? How emasculated of a man, how do you have to feel in order to literally go and be like, oh, other men are feminine. That's a bad thing. Like what? How is that bad for a man to have feminine characteristics? That's like a ridiculous thing. Now, there's no reason to actually intellectually engage with someone who's not trying to fucking engage like him. He's going to sit there and he's going to run his bad faith argument of, oh my God, Parker's not trying to engage with any of these points. I gave one fucking point that this guy can't run to. He can't even address any of the grape apology arguments. He can't address the fucking any of the border arguments. He can't even fucking understand 2-3 sentences of words that come out of my mouth. Like it's literally a non-sentient guest, like an actual non-sentient guest. Here, we're going to watch him ramble.
Am I not sentient because I'm a Mexican?
Yeah, actually, before you do, Amy, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate the $100. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Amy in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you for the $1. Thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you for the $1. Morgan, thank you for the $2. Jessica, thank you for the $2. Benjamin, thank you for the $1. Christina, thank you for the $1. Tree, thank you for the $1. And Nick, thank you for the $1. And Melanie, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. Cindy, thank you for the $2. Thank you.
I can send you some money if you want, if you need it that
Yeah,
bad.
go for it. Kelly, thank you so much for the
$1
$1.
so you can say my name on there.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio. Okay. Selena, thank you so much for the $1. Kayla, thank you so much for the $3. Evelyn, thank you for the $1. And Brianna, thank you so much for the $1. Yeah, dude, I really do, man.
I mean, I'm a Mexican immigrant, bro. I can use some donations too, guys. Not like I have white privilege over here like Parker. I'm a broad Mexican immigrant. I can use donations. Can you share some of your white tea privilege donations with me? Or do you not care about immigrants?
Michelle, thank you so much for the $5 on Cash App. Thank you so much. Do you want to engage with any of the arguments I brought up, or are you just going to rage bait?
Yeah, like you trying to call me a grape apologist, or you being wrong about birthright citizenship, or which one?
Address the actual arguments.
What was your argument?
Oh, you don't remember any of them?
Well, you dropped me down.
What I mean?
You dropped me down to try to get rid of me, and it didn't work.
Gabriella, thank you so much for the $5.
You dropped me down to try to get rid of me, but
yeah, I would have kept you down, right? I would have kept you down. Well, you're not. I dropped you because you didn't listen. Because you do this. You do this.
Remember now the feminine thing, right? Yeah, I never once saying being feminine was bad. I just said you're being feminine. And also, I was raised I was raised by women. I didn't say anything was wrong with that. I was raised by women, and I have sisters, and I was raised to be a man and be in check of my emotions. And I think you were raised the opposite. I don't think you are in check of your emotions. I think you crash out very easily. Maybe it's because you sit on TikTok all day debating with people and just being angry and negative. That could be why. I mean, maybe you need to go out in nature, like meet some people that think differently than you and not just hate people because they think differently than you. Maybe it'll be good for your psyche because you seem to crash out way too easily. Just because you get proven wrong or just because you get dog walked on your live. You tried saying people are going to get deported because of the change of birthright citizenship. That's not true. You shouldn't really spew misinformation that's going to scare people like that. As a Mexican immigrant, I don't appreciate that. I support the change to birthright citizenship. I think that one of the parents should at least be a legal citizen for their child to become a legal citizen. I think we should deport all criminals, people who have violent crimes. I think they should be priority. Do you disagree or what?
Your president's a criminal, just letting you know. But
yeah, you deflected to that. You already deflected.
I'm still like I'm not even able to get a sentence out. Can I please get a
question, dude? Use it.
This is why you have to go to the guest box. This is why, because you literally, I get to fucking 3 words. I get to the 3rd word and it's like, I'm already cut off, dude. After I just let him yap, bro. Okay. So dude, This is why it's not useful to talk to you. You're a waste of time. You literally are just gaslighting at this point. You didn't engage with any of the points that I brought up. You restated the original point about birthright citizenship, that you think that there needs to be a parent where they specifically are like a citizen in order for them to be considered a citizen, which isn't like good reasoning at all. And the reason why it's not good reasoning is because there are people in the country right now that have been here their entire lives where their parents aren't documented immigrants. And yeah, I still think that they should be able to stay in the country, but under your view, they wouldn't have a legal right to citizenship because they didn't meet the qualifications for citizenship under your worldview. But Amber, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much, Amber. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Joe again with the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Joe again with the $50. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Joe in the comment section? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I definitely am. Thank you so much, though. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate that. Jose, thank you so much for the $2. Jen, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you. I appreciate it. Amber, thank you for the $5. Ella, thank you for the $5. Ashley, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Frankie, thank you for the $5. Thank you for the hand art. And then also, John Cian, thank you so much for the 55 cents. Gabriella, thank you for the $5. Michelle, thank you for the $5. Thank you, Kelly, thank you for the $1. And again, Amy, thank you for the $100 fucking dollars. Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
What's up?
Are you gonna like act like an adult now?
I am an adult. I think I'm probably older than you, Parker.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't say you weren't older than me. I said that you weren't acting like an adult.
No, I think I was. You're the one crashing out and dropping me down because I'm disagree with you.
No, it's not because you're disagreeing with me. You're purposefully misunderstanding that. It's not because I'm disagreeing with you. This is weaponized incompetence, by the way. It's because you were talking over me consistently, not letting anyone speak. You weren't engaging with any of the points critically. So that's the reason. It wasn't because I disagree with you. And you using weaponized incompetence to not address a point is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, you being willfully ignorant isn't an excuse.
Where was I willfully?
Well, you're trying to say that you're literally after you dropped me down, you said that people that were born in the U.S. and that are adults now are going to be deported or aren't going to be legal anymore, which is wrong. And that's misinformation. You shouldn't.
No, what I'm saying under your definition is that they are not justified citizens because it is the case that they don't meet your qualifications for citizenship.
Because according to the 14th Amendment, they abide by our laws.
So again, what you're not understanding is that they don't meet the qualifications for citizenship that you outlined.
I'm not understanding that they do because they abide by our laws and they're citizens.
What were your qualifications for citizenship?
To be a baby that's born, when you're born as a baby, right? One of your parents has to be a citizen. That doesn't mean you're an adult.
I gave you an example of a scenario.
It's called birthright citizenship, right? Not adult life citizenship.
Listen. I was giving you an example, right, where it is the case that neither of their parents, right, were here legally. In that scenario, should they be deported?
Were they just born?
Yeah, they were just born here.
No, they wouldn't be deported. They just wouldn't be a citizen. They'd still have to stay in care of the hospital because they're a baby. They were a newborn. They're not going to just...
So you would separate the baby, from the parents? Or you would deport the baby?
What do you mean?
Wait, would you deport the baby?
No, you can't just deport a newborn baby.
So you would separate the baby from the parents.
And again, that's not up to me, right?
So you would separate...
No, what it means when you change birthright citizenship, that means the baby isn't a citizen. That doesn't mean anything about deportation.
So you think non-citizens should be allowed to stay in the country?
No. They don't automatically get deported, though. They get into a process, right?
So at what age would they be deported?
I don't know. That's not up to me.
So then you're saying undocumented immigrants...
Citizen, though. That's the point.
So you're saying undocumented immigrants should be allowed to stay into the country until they meet a particular age?
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying there's a legal process of them getting deported, and you're being disingenuous.
And what is the legal process?
Why are all your points disingenuous?
What is the legal process?
Why do you not make an actual logical argument? You're just being disingenuous every single time.
What is the legal process?
You're failing to articulate your position here. Be very specific here. Child born, non-native parents, not residents here, not citizens here. At what point do they get deported?
I don't know. That's not up to me.
They will be deported at some point under your worldview, right?
Obviously, yeah, because they're not a citizen, right?
Okay, so you realize that Trump's executive order is unconstitutional,
I answer your question,
right?
but you can't answer mine. It's kind of crazy.
I'm sorry, what question did you ask?
I said because they're not a citizen, right?
Well, no, under current law, they're citizens. Trump's order.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about after. We're talking about after. They're not changing the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go through a constitutional amendment, that's a whole other process. But you realize that Trump's executive order is facially unconstitutional, right?
Sure, sir. If that's not even what the point we're making. We're talking about if it goes through. And you're talking about a child that's born to two parents that are illegal. What happens to that child? That child is simply not a citizen.
Are they deported?
Right.
Yeah, eventually, probably.
When?
Yeah.
When? What's the process?
I don't know. Like I said, that's not up to me. When
Why
the
is
child
that-
is healthy,
wait, but-
when the mother,
wait,
they can
we're
be
asking
deported
you-
together.
we're asking you
I
what
mean,
your
obviously, you would
process
probably
is.
deport them with the mother, right?
Okay, so you would deport. So they're not a citizen. You would deport babies. Okay, so would you deport 5-year-olds?
The baby with the mother.
Would you deport a 10-year-old that's been in the country their whole life?
No, because under what pretense?
They're 10 years old. Both their
if they were
parents
born here, they're illegal right now.
So both their parents are undocumented. They were born in this country and they've been here and they're 10 years old now. Under your view, they don't meet the qualifications
They're
for
a legal
citizenship
citizen.
because
They are a legal citizen.
No, because you don't think
They are a
birthright-
legal citizen.
You don't think
They are a
birthright-
legal citizen. I'm
you don't-
asking you a question. They're a
you
legal
don't-
citizen.
You don't think birthright citizenship should be in place? So then they are not
Starting
a
in
legal
30
citizen.
days, it's going to change. Yes, that's what I support. I don't think we should go back and deport people that have already been born here. That's what I told you. You're being
Well,
disingenuous.
it's not going to start in 30
once again.
days. The order's
You're being
been
disingenuous
stayed.
once again. No, it starts
But
in
what
30
about-
days after it goes through.
No, the order's been stayed. It's not going into effect.
Goes into effect. It has 30 days. You know that.
But
anyways, guys.
the court has stayed the
I
order,
heard you.
so it can't
I
go
heard
into
you,
effect.
and I said that if it goes through, it has 30 days to have effect.
Okay, so going
Right.
under your worldview here, so somebody who's here on a student visa, not a citizen, not a permanent resident, they have a kid here. That kid is an American citizen or is not an American citizen?
Was one of the parents an American citizen?
Nope, she was here on a student visa.
And the guy that she had the baby with also was on a student visa?
Also here on a student visa.
Yeah, then the child would not be a legal citizen.
Okay, and then let's say that they do end up getting their citizenship 5 years later. So that now the kid is the parent of two American citizens, but at the time that they were born, their parents weren't American citizens. So what citizenship does that child have now?
Well, how did the child get citizenship then?
That's what I'm asking you. This is your worldview. Under my worldview, they
That
were a
makes no
citizen from the
sense.
moment
You
they were
said-
born.
You said the child is born, is not a citizen, but then he just becomes a citizen.
No, the parents became citizens 5 years after the child was born.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know. Then I don't think
Cool.
the child. I don't think the child automatically becomes a. I think
you could sum up most of your arguments with those three words. I don't
That's
know.
actually how I became a citizen. If the parents are legal citizens, the child becomes a legal citizen. That's actually the way it works. So yeah, if
The child has to apply for citizenship too. It's not automatic.
right through the parents, they get citizenship through the parents. So the parents become citizens 5 years later. Child is illegal. Child then becomes legal through the parents.
So you support a pathway to citizenship then?
Oh
for
yeah,
legal
just like
aliens.
Trump. Yes, just like Trump.
Okay, wait. So Trump supports a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants?
Yeah, for DACA kids. Yeah.
Wait, wasn't he trying to undermine DACA?
Well, he wants to end it, but he wants to give them a pathway to citizenship. Yeah, I don't think people. I personally,
What?
as a Mexican, listen. Your white tea privilege might be getting in the way. As a Mexican immigrant, people don't like sitting in a little limbo as a DACA student where they can't vote, but then they can go to school. They're not a legal citizen. DACA kids aren't legal citizens. They don't have any benefits of a citizen, right?
I'm pretty. Wait.
So
wait. Law.
these
Law.
DACA
Is
kids
that-
don't want to be DACA kids.
Law. What are your thoughts? Is that true? I don't think that's true. Right?
Yeah,
That
so,
is
so
true.
DACA is just a withholding from removal. So you essentially they can't be deported,
That's
but
it.
they do.
You don't get any
they
benefits.
don't. They get I-10 numbers, so they can pay taxes, file taxes, get tax returns, all that kind of thing. But they don't get any of the privileges of United States citizens.
So yeah, they should have a pathway to citizenship.
Exactly,
Of course.
yeah, exactly.
If they are not granted it right now, of course. Yeah, but like that's not what Donald Trump's.
Yeah, that is actually. He's talking about
Can you give me
multiple
one
times
clip
about
of that?
Yeah, I can pull up a clip if you want.
ahead.
Trump has said that these people are like he said these people are already adults. They're not children anymore. And I know some DACA kids. They're not children. They're literally adults with families now. And even Trump says these are people that need to become citizens. They have been here all their life. They don't speak Spanish.
Wait, I can give you an example though. Under your worldview, someone could have gotten to the country undocumented, whether it be how it be, and they could have had kids, and both the parents could be undocumented. Mm-hmm. The kid lives in the country their whole life. They're 50 years old. You would say that person should be deported. They've lived here their whole life. But you would say that person should be deported because they came after your laws were in place.
Were they born in the U.S.?
Yes.
Then they'd be a legal citizen as of right now.
No, I'm saying after your laws are.
No, again, it's not going to change anything that already happened, dude.
No,
That's
they were
too
born.
messy.
I'm saying they were born in the country after the law that you're talking about that gets rid of birthright citizenship is in place.
Yeah, because why would they stay in a country for, what'd you say, 30 years, 20 years?
So you're saying that they should be deported?
Yeah, because why were you staying in the country for over 10
But they
years
lived.
after?
Wait.
Wait. Why should they not be deported?
But they lived here their whole life. They had a family.
They're not going to make it their whole life here if they're already illegal. They're going to get deported.
There's like 30 countries that don't. There's 30 countries that don't recognize citizenship by blood. So where would they get deported to when they don't have citizenship in any country?
To wherever their parents are from.
But they don't have citizenship. Those countries aren't going to take them in.
What do you mean? What? The parents do have citizenship because they were born in that country.
No. Japan, for example, does not.
He's essentially arguing they should go into the ocean.
That's not what I'm saying. I said they should go to the country that their parents are from.
Seriously, what are you talking about?
What if their parents are technically not from a country? Dude, it's always this whataboutism.
Like Japan, for example.
Terrible argument, being disingenuous. Like, have a logical, real argument against it.
You're the one you're not giving a process for where the fuck they go.
I just told you where their parents are from, and you said, "Well, what if their parents
they
are
don't
from
have
the
citizenship.
ocean?
That they don't know." I said they don't have. He said they don't have citizenship there, and what I'm saying is that you're essentially arguing they should go into the ocean
wherever the
because
parents
there
were born.
is nowhere.
Wherever the parents were born.
But
again,
there's 30 countries, Japan, United Arab Emirates, Sudan, where if they don't recognize citizenship by blood. So these children who were born here literally have.
So how do they recognize their citizenship by birth?
They have to be born.
Exactly. So if the fucking parents were born there, I just said it. If their parents were born there, that's where they go. It's fucking obvious.
But the child wasn't born
there. You had to bring this guy up who's also fucking dumb to try to debate me. You guys are both fucking dumb.
We're dumb.
Yeah. Did you just hear yourself?
You're the definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Do you know what that is?
No. Can you explain it to me? Educate me.
That's the point.
Educate me.
Yeah, so it's when you have a very high level of confidence when you don't know fucking shit, right? And then as you learn more, you reduce in confidence, and over time, as you learn a lot more and you become very proficient, you become more confident.
Cognitive bias.
So people that know
cognitive bias. That's you who sits in an echo chamber.
So people who know significantly more on the topic are going to have the same level of confidence as people who know significantly less. And that's what I'm saying is happening right here. I know significantly more than you about this topic. Law knows significantly more than you about this topic, right? And you have the same fucking level of confidence as us because of the Dunning-fucking-Kruger effect. That you are the fucking case study.
Very confident. You had to bring this guy up to try to debate me.
I did this for fun.
You need help.
No, I just did this for fun. I did that.
So
I already talked to you. And you're so insufferable.
Okay, so if you're way more intelligent than me, maybe because I'm a Mexican immigrant that's uneducated, right?
Has nothing to do with you being Mexican.
Maybe it's your white tea privilege. But if you're so much more educated than me, why can't you just have an actual logical reason why you're against it instead of just making
do you see how you resort to literally
arguments?
Do you see how you're the one who just engaged disingenuously? You're literally gaslighting. It's actually disgusting what you just did.
How am I gaslighting?
You are clearly fucking gaslighting.
How? I asked you for a valid argument against it. You're trying to say, well, what if the parents are from Japan?
I appreciate the $5. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you so much.
I told you
that was me because it is a gaping hole in your position. So
no,
I told you
if the parents were born there, that's where they're from. Wherever the parents are, dude. When you're born somewhere, you pretty much have a citizenship.
What do you do with soccer balls?
Yeah, I bet you want to kick me, you fucking pussy, because you're getting destroyed.
Wait, did you say you kick them?
No, you want to kick me.
Dude, the ad hominems with that guy, such a weak debater.
Dude, I don't think we even actually got to anything legitimate. That person is literally not sentient.
Well, it's so funny because every time he was, his position was cornered, he just said, "Oh, you're so dumb, and you can't debate me." It was ridiculous. But no, the point is that there's countries like Japan, New Zealand, United Arab Emirates, 30 countries that don't recognize citizenship by blood. So just because your parents are citizens of that country doesn't mean you get citizenship. Germany, for example, you have to register as a German.
Yeah, they recognize
Yo,
citizenship by birth.
Christian, can you unmute and speak real quick?
Yeah, was that a racist comment?
Good
Soccer
boy,
ball?
good boy. Thank you so much, good boy. Sorry, good law.
Yeah. So just because your parents were born there doesn't mean you have any citizenship claim there. So if 30 years later, turns out that you're deported, now these countries, they're not your home country. They look at you, they say, you're not a citizen here, get out of here. It's an untenable position for them because they don't recognize citizenship by blood. They recognize birthright citizenship or some other form of immigration.
He already hopped back in the box, bro. This guy is relentless, bro. He's obsessed. He's like the next Liam.
That's the other funny part is like, if he's so superior to you, why does he keep begging to get your attention?
Yeah, it's so crazy. All right, let's go on to the next person. Let's go on to the next person here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. How you doing, Law?
I'm doing all right. Got lots of interesting things going on. I got a couple of videos on birthright citizenship. Like one of them's like 6 minutes long. If you guys want to go watch, I literally go into all of the history of like where it came from.
Did you post it to YouTube?
I did just post it to YouTube, and it's also on my TikTok if you guys want to check it out.
Good. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Did you vote Trump?
Yep.
And why did you do that?
Because the guest destroyed y'all, and every reason he stayed, it was the same reason. Absolutely destroyed you.
Okay.
Y'all can sit there and smile and laugh, but you did.
Mm-hmm. On what specific point? Okay, that was interesting.
Did he just run?
Yeah, he literally just ran.
Oh,
I think they were rage baiting. Jose, thank you so much for the $2. Jen, thank you so much for the $3. Tanisha, thank you so much. I appreciate the $2 or the $5. Thank you so much. Parker, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. Ashley, thank you for the $5. And Cruz, thank you for the 50 cents. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I think I joined on accident. I'm like definitely.
You're good. Don't worry. You're good. I'm always scared I'm going to do that on lives. They make it too easy to do that, I feel like. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Well, I don't really want to debate with you guys, but I think it's interesting that you come up here for debates, but you don't really have constructive conversations. Like, it seems like every
You're the one that's about to make a non-constructive conversation. You came up here to not have a constructive conversation. What are you talking about?
Right, because I don't want to be belittled and have you, like, talk down on me because I don't agree with you.
No, I'm not talking down on anyone. I'm disagreeing.
That's
listen.
so not true.
Jenna, listen. So when you complain about me not having productive conversation, you came up onto my live to not have a productive conversation about the topic that we're talking about. So can you explain to me why I don't have productive conversations? Is it because people try to troll me, don't engage in productive dialogues themselves, or is it my fault?
No, I wouldn't say it's all your fault, right? Like, people do come up, they do troll you. Obviously, it is the internet, but there are a lot of people who come up here and they try to have real conversations about why they support Trump and why they voted the way they did. And then you basically call them stupid and like you're intellectually spineless, and it's kind of sad. Like,
that last person was stupid and intellectually spineless. You can't tell me you listened to that last conversation and you genuinely thought that person was engaging with the dialogue. Like, I genuinely can't even fathom that you think that.
You guys don't think he brought up good points? You guys don't agree with him on anything?
No,
I'll concede. I'll actually concede that he did have some good talking points, but he couldn't stop interrupting, and he couldn't stay on the point to actually bring it to its logical conclusion without tossing out insults and ad hominem attacks. I watch Parker a lot. Parker matches energy. If somebody comes up respectful, brings up a point, takes turns, lets each other talk, that's how it goes. When somebody comes up, gets all hot and bothered, and starts throwing insults, Parker gets a little bit spicy. So I try to keep an even keel, but even I can get spicy sometimes when somebody is just being so rude and intellectually dishonest.
Sure, and I do like agree with you on some parts, Law, but I've like tried to see that about Parker, and that's really not true. Like, I listen to the way he talks to people, and it's really disgusting and gross. Like, if
How
you
so?
want to have a conversation about why they shouldn't believe that, I feel like you should be able to have that conversation without completely belittling the person. And
No, there are some people I'm okay with belittling. I'm okay with belittling bigots. I don't give a shit. Like, if someone is a grape apologist, I will absolutely belittle them. I want to stigmatize that shit. Fuck yes. If you care about the feelings of grape apologists and bigots, I'm sorry, why are you putting the feelings of bigots and grape apologists over the people that are harmed by them? Like, I'm so confused. Like, what is this reasoning?
well, one of the biggest reasons I supported Trump is he was actually putting laws in order to help the missing children and trafficking victims, where under the Biden administration, you have people saying that there were 500,000 missing kids that cannot be accounted for. Where are these children? Where are the kids? Why are no one talking about where these kids are?
I know Law really wants to
Also,
address this one.
someone
I'll let
said
Law do
Epstein
it.
list. Trump said he's going to release the Epstein list.
Jenna, before we go into that, just
Yeah,
I'll let Law respond to that.
real quick. So it wasn't 500,000. So I will concede with you to you that the Department of the Department of Health and Human Services does not have an effective process for this. But it's not missing children. What they found is there were 290,000 court notices that did not go out. So they're not people that they didn't even get the notices out. This is like when you get a summons to go to court and they mail you the summons. They haven't even put them in the mail yet. But they did find that there was about 40,000 kids who are children that were placed with family members and things like that, sponsors, who missed their court dates. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people miss their court dates, particularly people on the lower economic spectrum, people who are immigrants. They typically move around a lot. You know, they've got an apartment, and maybe they need to go find a bigger apartment, or maybe they find a cheaper apartment. And so they just didn't have a good process of keeping track of this. There's been very, very single digit incidents of kids being in danger of all of the people that have been placed in the care of. But I also will say that the vast majority of the children that we're talking about were displaced as a result of Trump's family separation policy at the border. So I don't think that his hands are entirely clean in this either.
No, but he has put some proactive laws. In fact, I think he's one of the presidents that have done the most for human trafficking. He's the one
he made a task force. I'm aware of his task force. What laws did he put into place?
I'll have to look up the exact name, but I believe he put 3 or 4 into place when he was president first.
I don't know what you don't know the name of what did it do, the policy?
I would also have to look into that. I know that there was assigning more forces. I don't know. You guys can do your own research. I'm not gonna spit out information, but look it up. It is there. I don't know why people would argue against trying to help children, but
Obviously, yeah, we'd want to help children. We'd want to make sure that we would reduce child sex trafficking and abuse towards children and sexual abuse within society. And that's probably why we shouldn't vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman who undermined the bipartisan border bill that would have addressed concerns at the border. The person who's not, meaningfully working with the other side. Maybe we'd start there.
Sure, but how can you say this but not say anything poorly about the Biden-Harris administration?
I say things poorly about them all the time.
Like what? What about their border that was so bad? How come all these children went missing under their administration?
I think they should have put a lot more pressure on addressing the border earlier, and I think that would have done better. That's an example.
Okay, but I feel like we see the state of our country and what their administration has put us in. I live in New York. We're paying for immigrants to have more benefits than the American citizens, not to mention the people in North Carolina.
That's not true. That's
who are
not true.
living.
The state policy you're talking about is to asylum seekers, and it's state policy. I thought we were all pro states' rights when it comes to restricting women's access to abortion, but we're not pro states' rights when it comes to literally ensuring that people have food for their children in certain states who are asylum seekers who are in the country legally.
What about our own people? What about the people in North Carolina that are freezing in tents?
Yeah, and why did Republicans literally vote to cap the funding? And why did Donald Trump bring up possibly...
Why did FEMA skip over Trump supporters?
Why did what?
FEMA skip over the Trump supporters.
Can you give me evidence of that?
Sure, look up the whistleblower that literally worked for FEMA and came out and said this and got fired because she exposed them.
What was their name?
I'm not sure of her name.
Law, have you heard of this?
No, this is the first. I saw something about this on Real Raw News, but that's a satire website, so I haven't seen anything that's actually been linked to any.
How are they going to know they're Republican?
Because people have signs outside their house saying either Biden.
Oh, so people who had Trump signs outside their house didn't receive any funding.
Correct.
Well, okay. Okay, so they had some AI detection for, they said Trump sign, we're not going in there. Fuck them.
How come the Biden and Harris administration has done nothing to help these people in North Carolina?
I'm sorry, Jenna, I don't think FEMA was purposefully not giving care to Trump supporters. I think that's a ridiculous claim. You'd have to provide me evidence.
Even aside from that.
And Joe, thank you so much for the $30. Thank you so much on PayPal. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Some W's for Joe in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Joe. And Rachel, thank you so much for the $1. I appreciate it, as well as Melanie. Thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. Ashley, with the $5. Cruz, thank you for the 50 cents. Parker, thank you so much for the $1. Cassie, thank you for the $3. And Lacey, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
How come there are still people out there freezing in tents with nowhere to go? Hotels are kicking them out because they've overstayed their welcome, and still...
Sounds like we need social services for the low and middle class. We don't need tax cuts for billionaires.
It sounds like, why isn't our administration helping these American citizens, but they can send billions?
Why are Republicans not voting? Yeah, seriously, why are Republicans not voting for policies that pass social services for people in the United States, but they're willing to pass foreign assistance?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, why are Republicans not willing to vote for domestic social policies like, healthcare, childcare, housing affordability, right? Things like that in the United States, but they're willing to vote for foreign assistance. It sounds like the call is coming from within your party, right? It's not Democrats that are not willing to vote for policies for Americans. It's Republicans that are historically not willing to vote for policies for Americans, but they're willing to fucking literally spend money on the military to exorbitant rates. But they're going to cut social services before they'll cut the military.
There's a lot of sure. Okay, fun fact. I've been a Democrat my entire life, right? Until this administration. After I saw what Biden and Harris has done to our country,
and I've been a Republican. Cool. I've been a Republican. I grew up in a conservative Christian household, right? I was a Trump supporter in 2016, 2017, 2018. Right, and my mind has been changed. Now, you don't take that as credence to believe my view, so why should I take that as any credence to believe your view?
No, but the thing is I've been wanting to support the Harris and but I haven't seen anything. They don't
really. What's Trump's healthcare policy?
I know he wants to ban Medicaid. He
wants to ban Medicaid?
Or something like that, Medicare.
So now you're advocating ban Medicare?
I don't
know. No, one, he hasn't said that. Two, if he was arguing for that, that's getting rid of domestic social policy. The stuff that you were just advocating, we should increase.
I don't agree with that. I don't.
You were just bringing up something that you agree. You said that was good.
Who said that? Not me. I didn't say that was good.
Well, then what do you think was good?
I think him wanting to take back control of our country and prioritizing Americans first that are literally outside freezing in tents right now, and getting rid of the illegal immigrants that are raping and murdering little girls
Okay, so undocumented
That the
immigrants.
Biden and Maris.
Listen, Jenna, undocumented immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than natural-born U.S. citizens. Multiple times lower rates for violent crime, drug crime, property crime. That's just a fact, okay? So I don't know why you're like saying undocumented immigrants are just vastly committing all these different types of crimes, right? It doesn't seem to like make sense to like demonize undocumented immigrants in that way. Secondly, let me please address this. Let me please continue to address this. Secondly, when it relates to this, right? You understand that there's no unique characteristic you'd be able to identify of undocumented immigrants that would mean you treat it that way. And that if you don't apply that same standard to the fucking president of the United States, it makes me really not believe that you care about that.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Really? So you care about violent crime, but yet you voted for a guy held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Yes. I still believe he will be better.
Law and order. I voted for a guy that pardoned people who pled guilty and admitted to violently assaulting police officers. We're friends of police. We're such friends of police that we put their families' lives at risk because January 6th rioters wanted to be pardoned.
Okay, so to the
who violently assaulted police officers. Let's be fucking totally honest here. That's
the
insane.
E.G. Carroll case.
Well, okay.
They apparently Donald Trump wouldn't give up his DNA to match the DNA found on her dress, correct?
True.
So as the president of the United States, how the hell would they not already have his DNA in the system? Are you kidding me?
How would E. Jean Carroll's attorneys get access to Trump's DNA?
What do you mean?
Can anybody just
the DNA found on the dress? They run it through a system that could match the DNA, right? Like forensic scientists.
What system?
That's not how DNA matches.
So you're talking about the federal CODIS system.
Sure.
Who has access to the CODIS system?
The federal government.
The federal government, specifically law enforcement agencies across the state, not civil attorneys.
Sure, but there's definitely some way that they could have gotten, this just doesn't make sense to me.
There is some way they could have gotten a DNA. They asked Trump to give them his
DNA. Get DNA from freaking trash, and they couldn't get the president of the United States DNA. That just, it does not make sense.
Okay, so who was the plaintiff in this case?
E. Jean Carroll.
E. Jean Carroll. This was not the government that was going after Donald Trump. It was a private citizen. Private citizens do not have the ability to just look up somebody's DNA profile.
Andrew, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much.
The courts.
They did request it, and Trump denied it.
So Trump has that ability to admit.
Within a civil court, he has that ability, yes.
To admit,
and I agree, he shouldn't have that ability. We should have been able to just get it. That's why, because it should have been in a criminal court.
So in a civil liability court, you can't.
The reason why it wasn't in criminal because of statute of limitations, and that law shouldn't exist. There should be no statute of limitations that restricts great victims from being able to hold their abusers accountable 20, 30 years down the line.
Right. But what I'm saying is in a civil case, defendants are able to rule things into evidence or not. Like they're able to say, that's not, you can't admit his evidence into court because it's my evidence and I don't want it there.
So when what you're talking about is discovery, and in discovery, you're required to present any evidence that you have. So if you have any evidence that's related to the allegations, you're required to present that. But you can't compel the other party to go and produce new evidence. So I can't compel somebody to go write a report. I can't compel somebody to go do an investigation into something. And you can't compel them to provide a DNA sample because that's not evidence circulating the allegations that already exists.
And they're not allowed to look into the CODIS system to see if the DNA matches. That just does not make sense.
That's explicitly for criminal investigations.
Okay. They still did more for the kids than Joe Biden did. In fact, Joe Biden and the Harris administration have put kids endangered. Millions of people crossing the border, not millions, hundreds of people crossing the border, suffocated and died just to get over here in these small compact trucks, and you guys are sitting there advocating.
And that's why we want a pathway to citizenship.
It's a huge slap in the face to immigrants.
And wait, and Republicans want to make it harder, by the way.
It's a huge slap in the face to immigrants who have came over, went through everything the hard way, and then these people who are essentially committing a crime coming over here get everything handed to them. I think, one,
Donald Trump committed a crime and he became the president.
Okay.
Okay, and also I don't think that we treat all crimes the same, right? I think that we can obviously look at someone coming across the border, right, as like different, right, if they have not committed any violent crime or bad crime, comparative to like, you know, like murdering someone or like fucking stealing things. Like those are radically different things than coming here for a better life, right, to like support your family.
Then do it the right way.
The process takes so long. That's
right,
like that's like think about it this way. Think about it this way. If you were driving on the road, and you were driving in like a specific zone, it was like a freeway and it said speed limit was 5 miles per hour. Would you go 5 miles per hour?
What the fuck?
No, I wouldn't go 5 miles. I'd be like, what the fuck is this speed limit? I'm not going 5 miles per hour. I'm not going to be able to get there in time. I got to take care of my family, right? I got to get places.
Sure, for some cases. But that's not what listen, you have the
Would you be like, dude, you should be held accountable
running the border right now? Like,
Jenna, would you be like, you should be held accountable?
For what?
For speeding. If I went like literally 50 miles an hour, like on a normal freeway, right? Because it just said 5, right? Do you think I should be held accountable because the speed limit said 5?
Parker, I'm sorry.
Or do you think that the speed limit was unjustified? Or do you think the speed limit was unjustified?
That's crazy.
So you shouldn't treat people that way.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Of course, because he's going to make you look bad. Andrew, think of the $5. Thank you so much. Sharon, think of the $1.
Question that you pulled out of your ass. Like what?
Jenna, hypothetical questions are relevant towards demonstrating concepts.
They're not.
Really? When you're, I'll give you an example. When an architect is building a building, do you think that they have to think of different hypothetical ways that the building could collapse that could be relevant towards building the building in a particular way? Or do you think that's not fucking relevant to them?
Fucking relevant to them.
Jenna, that's why I respond that way. You're being dishonest. You know that they're relevant.
I'm not. I feel like the fact that I'm raising these issues and you guys are trying to poke holes in these stories instead of it's a debate.
It's a debate. Jenna, we're debating.
Will you let me finish? Instead of even like I feel like you guys almost praise the Biden and Harris administration after like seeing everything that we're going through.
What did they cause? What did they do that was bad?
What city should we start in?
Just give me one policy.
One policy?
That you think was bad, yeah.
Border.
That's not a policy. What policy opened the border?
That's what they did that was bad.
What policy opened the border?
What, because I don't answer no policies, I'm stupid? Like,
well, you don't have reason to justify your statement, so yeah.
I do. I'm looking. I have my eyes wide open. I see the numbers. Like, because I don't.
Michelle, think of it $10.
Well, how do you define an open border?
Allowing millions of immigrants into our country without any background checks, anything, giving them hotel buildings, free food, insurance that our tax money is going to.
Over the course of the Biden administration, how many were allowed in over the course of the Biden administration?
Millions.
2, 10, 50?
Less than 50, probably around 10.
Okay, so what you're talking about are border encounters. An encounter is not an entry. About 70% of the people who are encountered at the border are immediately turned around.
Okay, so what's going on with these cities then? What's going on with all these immigrants? Everywhere. What about the gang? What about the cartels? Like the Venezuelan gangs that are literally taking over apartment buildings in Colorado. And What? I'm
Judy,
wrong?
think of
Like,
it $10.
you guys can't even say that that's wrong. You can't act like I'm saying why I voted for Trump. I wanted to change. This is crazy. There's
Okay, so
women
real quick,
and children getting murdered and raped, and you guys can't even say you're wondering like what the policy is. Look, can you not just agree that this
Trump
is
undermined the
up
policy.
right now?
Trump undermined the bipartisan border bill, and I think law was
Once
going.
again, didn't go through Congress as you stated.
Yeah, because Donald Trump undermined the bill.
The
yeah,
power
literally
you
said to
guys
blame him
see-
for it not passing.
Yeah, literally, he said, "Blame it on me if the border bill fails."
So that's why it was so terrible during the Biden administration. Can't
Well, we would have had a border policy a year and a half ago, over a year and a half ago.
just doesn't make sense. They come into the administration, all these people get in all the way to the end. It's just crazy. Trump gets in, all these people are getting immediately deported.
He's already in. They haven't been. Have they been deported?
They're in the process of it. ICE is raiding cities.
What policy did Trump pass?
What policy did, dude? What?
What order? What executive order? Anything? What did he do?
He gave ICE their job back.
They were not in a job.
Pretty much not.
Pretty much not. So, what do you mean? What did Biden do? Vanity, think of the $2, and Judy, think of the 10.
He opened the borders.
How so? What did he do to open the border? How do you open the border?
We didn't have a huge border crisis under his administration.
Have a huge border crisis. So you could say that there was a border crisis,
we didn't
but
let in
didn't Trump run on
millions
there?
of people. Like, how can you not even
Do you think there's a border?
recognize that that was so failed?
Jenna, do you think there's a border crisis right now?
Yes,
Trump's president.
correct.
Why isn't he fixing the border crisis?
He's working on it.
What's his plan to fix the border crisis?
First of all, he's going to start off by deporting all the violent illegal immigrants.
So you think okay, I have a question about that. How do you know that someone's undocumented in the country if they haven't committed a crime? How do you know who to go up to ask if they're undocumented?
You don't.
Okay, so you're saying that Trump can't engage in mass deportation? Any
That's
differently
not
than
true.
the way that
That's
we're doing
not
right
true.
now?
So we just don't know where any of these people are that we're sanctioning in these cities,
Sounds like that's what you just said.
but it's not.
Okay, so then how do we know?
Well, first of all, you can start where all they got sent to, and they do know where a lot of them are.
How do you know?
Starting off with the violent ones.
How do you know
That's
that?
the
How do you know
biggest
their
thing.
name? How do you know where to find anything about them if you don't know their name? If you don't know any of their documentation? If they haven't identified themselves, the same way that if you didn't know anything about me, you wouldn't be able to identify my name without knowing. I'd just be some random person walking on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how
I
do you
don't see what
know?
you're getting at.
How do you know who in the country is undocumented to engage in mass deportation? And you're saying there is no process. So it sounds like how was Trump going to engage in mass deportation? What you said was so great.
Just because I don't know the process doesn't mean that there isn't a process.
Has Trump even set a process?
I can still recognize that there's a huge problem going on right now due to the Biden and Harris administration.
Okay.
Can you guys not even recognize that? Like, I
have a question. Would you vote for someone that?
can't.
So you don't think violent criminals should be allowed into the country or released into the country, right?
Absolutely not.
And you wouldn't vote for someone who engaged in a particular action that released violent criminals into our country, right?
I can't make that decision based off one thing.
So you would vote for someone who
Can I finish? Every candidate that has ever run for presidency has things that I like and I do not like. I don't agree with. So that being said, I'm not going to agree with everything that a single president that I vote for.
No, but let me clarify my question. You would vote for someone who released violent criminals into the country?
If I agree with most of their other things that they were campaigning for, yes.
Okay, so then why wouldn't you vote for Kamala Harris? Because seemingly, even if you do think that they like opened the border and they released violent criminals into the country, seems like you're totally okay with voting for them still.
Kamala Harris was putting people in jail for not sending their kids to school. Like, are you kidding
That's
me?
not true. That's like actually not true.
No,
she didn't.
So true. Yep.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
Give me a source.
You look up your own source. Like, I don't have it.
I promise you, I've looked this up. Someone else has made this claim on the live. Jenna, you're not unique, but I've not found anything that justifies this claim.
Well, so real quick, this policy was a truancy policy, and it happened if a child between kindergarten and 8th grade missed more than 50 days of school, that their parents could have faced jail. Now, not one person was actually sent to an incarceratory sentence. There were some people that were arrested and put in jail, but nobody had to serve an incarceration time for this. But this is also not anything that the attorney general did. These were done by local district attorneys, not attorneys general. So she did support the truancy policy, but she never arrested or jailed a single person.
But I thought you just said that people were arrested for it.
She did not do it. The attorney general does not handle prosecutions in local jurisdictions.
But she supported it, right? Like, and I'm pretty sure it was way less than 50 days. Like, I'll have to relook this up, but I'm pretty sure there were
Wait, are you like pro law and order? Do you want parents to just like be able to neglect their children?
No, but I think absolutely not.
Okay, so then what the fuck is your issue with this?
My understanding, it was way less than 50 days. There was a kid in the hospital and her mom got arrested because she wasn't in school.
Yeah, so you have to you have to clarify the reasons and give the evidence to justify that statement.
I actually read this one. This was a conservative DA in Orange County that did that one. It had nothing to do with Kamala Harris.
Oh, that's actually crazy.
Kamala Harris was the backbone of this. Like, her face was written all over it. The fact that
It was passed by the California Assembly. They asked her opinion on it, and she said she supported it. Like, she didn't shepherd it through. This wasn't her policy. It was something that the California Assembly passed, and it was signed into law by Gavin Newsom.
Also, Trump was trying to get water through California for years, and now.
Oh, okay. We can talk about those in a second, but you would say you wouldn't vote for someone who released violent criminals into our society? Is that what you said?
I wouldn't vote for someone who. I said it depended on their other policies compared to the candidate.
Okay. So, like, what policies do you like of Trump's?
I don't know the specific policy names, but I like how he's protecting the children, put the laws in act. I like what he's doing to the border. I like how he's getting the illegal immigrants out. I like how he's helping the people in North Carolina and the hurricane.
What are you talking? This is all nonsense. Republicans were the ones who capped the funding going to North Carolinians. You know that, right?
Who was in office when this hurricane happened, and who left the office with them in tents?
Well, wait, say that one more time.
Who was in the office when this natural disaster happened, and who left the office when they were still struggling with nowhere to go?
So you're saying if it happens under their administration, they're at fault for it?
Absolutely not, but I think that they're at fault for the consequences after the disaster and who gets
Christine,
to help.
thank you for the $5. Stacey, thank you for the $5. And Nora, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much, Nora. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So what did they do that was wrong?
There's people still in tents freezing to death.
Okay, so you're saying they need to get bipartisan policy passed. Why aren't Republicans voting for it? Appreciate the woolly hat. Why didn't they vote to increase the funding?
You didn't answer my question first, though.
That's
Like,
you know that Congress
I feel
passing
like
a policy.
I'm hearing the
Listen,
good and the
Jenna,
bad here.
Jenna, what policy did Democrats not vote for that gave social services to people in need?
Didn't Democrats vote to keep all the illegal immigrants who had sex crimes?
Not an answer to the question. No, there's
Right,
no
but-
evidence of this. Please provide me a source.
Look it up on the government website. Like,
Oh my God, no, give me a source.
Hey, Parker, speaking of abandoning children, I got to go get mine from school. I'll be listening, but thanks for having me up.
Appreciate you, Law.
so do you expect me to read something, and every time I read something, I memorize the link that I read it from or the website? Every piece of
No,
information.
just like anything where it came from, maybe.
Do you
Sure,
want me to
thank you so
look
much
it
for
up
the dollar.
and find it for you?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Or how do you feel about Donald Trump pardoning violent criminals that beat police officers?
Are you talking about the J6ers?
Yep.
The ones that already spent like 3.5 years in prison?
You think that's enough for violent offenders that assaulted police officers? Trump's a friend of the police, am I right? You
I
know?
think that's more
Such
than
a friend of the
rapist,
police
isn't
that
it?
he's putting their
I
families'
think
lives
that
at
justice
risk.
system is wrong. What do you think about Biden pardoning
Do you wanna
his
respond to
entire
that?
family, Anthony Fauci?
Anthony Fauci got pardoned for what?
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you
right?
saying a
Why did
preemptive?
his whole family? Why did Biden's whole
Jenna,
family
are you
get
saying a preemptive pardon because Trump is a lunatic?
Biden has the most pardons out of any president of the United States. He pardoned the most people. Like, I really.
Yeah. Donald
I feel
Trump.
like we can't
Donald
even
Trump.
talk about
So
pardons.
tell me who he pardoned that you disagree with.
Who? Biden?
Yeah.
Fauci.
What did he get? What did he get pardoned for that you disagree with?
Well, I don't think he was even found guilty of anything, right? Like, his case didn't even
So
get completed.
it's a preemptive pardon because Trump is a lunatic. Yeah.
What? How? It has to do with COVID and the misinformation going around about COVID.
Fauci
And
did,
how
what
Fauci
misinformation
said
did
it.
Fauci engage in?
That masks essentially were made up scientific data. Like, they had no scientific data to back up on that masks were efficient. The 6 feet
The
was
Stanford
also
study. There was a Stanford study. What are you talking about? There were plenty of studies. There were
The
plenty of
6 feet-
meta-analyses. There were plenty of studies that indicated masks were effective. What are you talking about? What are you saying, Jenna?
Where's the scientific data?
I just told you. I told you a Stanford study.
Okay. What about the 6 feet?
What
How
about
was
it?
COVID created?
Okay, now you're asking plenty of different questions. I don't know where COVID or how COVID was created, or whether or not it was a zoonotical leap, or whether or not it was like in a lab and got leaked. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't think there's evidence to justify either or.
Right, but that had everything to do with Anthony Fauci's case. If he was guilty of nothing, same with Biden's family, why are they getting pardoned? Like,
You're talking about Hunter. I mean, I don't like agree with the pardon necessarily, but like I don't think
Why
that's
is
like
people
I don't
pardoning
think
people
I
that
don't
don't
think you
even have anything
can
against
I don't think you can compare pardoning Hunter Biden to pardoning violent offenders who admitted to beating police officers.
who have already spent 3 years in jail?
They're violent offenders that beat police officers on January 6th. They should be in prison for the rest of their fucking lives.
Okay, and how? So
What are you talking about? They violently assaulted police officers, like in groups, and
what
admitted
about
to it.
What about BLM? What about the
Yeah,
activists
people
for
who
them?
people who commit violent crimes. Yes, they should be in prison. Now,
They weren't.
BLM was not full of people committing violent crimes.
The
Black
riots
Lives
were.
Matter was predominantly peaceful.
Predominantly, but the riots, 95% of the people that were engaged in the riots were not convicted of anything for arson.
I'm not saying they
assault,
were.
nothing.
But you don't have Democrats advocating for pardoning people who violently assaulted police officers at any of these places. Okay? Donald Trump is actively advocating for these people to be pardoned because they did his bidding. Do you understand how much of a threat that is to our public institutions?
So do you just not?
Do I just not what?
Do you think that people who commit assault should have a life sentence?
Yes.
Okay. No matter the scenario. Spit in someone's face, slap someone.
Like if they commit assault in this scenario, assaulted police officers, right, on January 6th, yes. This is a attack on our Capitol where they did Trump's bidding and assaulted police officers and beat them. So there was one person where they tried to gouge the police officer's eyes out.
Yes, he deserves to be in
Prison for life, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like
I don't have an issue with I don't have an issue with that person specifically being in prison for the rest of their life.
I agree. And I think me and you can probably agree with a lot of topics, but obviously like disagree to quite a few as well.
Okay, but like you should be able to be like, yeah, that's fucked up that Trump did that. I don't think I should have voted for him. Burst the sunglasses, like, you know what I'm saying? But like from my perspective, it's like a violent offender. Of course he pardoned other violent offenders.
But he also pardoned thousands of people who were literally just not violent in the Capitol and walking around.
Like, okay, I mean, if there's just a person that was walking around, you can talk about reducing their sentencing, but a full pardon acts like it never happened, which I don't think should be the case.
Even though they already spent time in jail, like they've already been punished. Like it's not like they're just getting out of it.
Yeah, that's reducing their sentence. It's not getting rid of the fact that they committed a crime.
But just walking around, they deserve to be in jail.
No, I don't think they should be in jail anymore, no. If they've spent 3 years in jail for being inside of the Capitol, just walking around, I don't think they should be in jail anymore. But, yeah, but like, I don't know what your point is. We're talking about people that broke in with riot shields. We're talking about people that assaulted police officers.
Right, they should.
And they were doing this to steal the fucking election. They wanted to steal the election. So it's like violent criminals that were insurrectionists and trying to steal the election. It's probably a threat, and I'm okay with them being in prison for the rest of their lives. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I completely agree.
So
I'm just saying that.
But you were talking about like, oh my gosh, Democrats are open border policies releasing violent criminals into the country, but you're totally okay with Trump pardoning violent criminals that did his bidding on January 6th.
I'm not okay with it. I think how I view it is like looking at the worst of the two.
Yeah, that's clearly Trump there because he did it intentionally. Now, under the Biden-Harris administration, there were more people that came to the country, but that was because of economic insecurity that exists around the world, which causes scenarios where people are incentivized to come to the United States. And Susan with the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much. Give me some W's for Susan in the comment section right now, for this is all Fox News' fault. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Susan. Thank you so much. Melanie, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Melanie. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Maureen, thank you so much for the $1. And KP, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Yes, I will look for that. You were saying, Jenna?
I don't know. I don't think I was saying much.
Do you think Republicans are funding social services for people in need, maybe who need like heating or electric or like, food?
Are you talking about? I think as long as
like for people who are freezing in tents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Name one bill any of the predominant Republicans have voted for in which provides that funding.
Why do I need to name a bill or a policy when I'm seeing it all in like who's in North Carolina right now trying to help these guys and who left them in tents? I don't really know what to say. Like
you understand, in order for there to be federal policies, there has to be agreement.
Yeah, these policies all say one thing, but actions say something completely different.
Okay, so if you're not basing it on policies, it sounds like you're just basing it on vibes. Jenna, I think you just voted on vibes. I think you just voted on like a feeling. You didn't really vote on like policy. You didn't vote on anything like in specific.
I voted on what I'm seeing.
Yeah, just like what you feel like, right? It's just vibes.
What I've seen. Like, when I saw Kamala Harris do interviews pretty
Kamala.
much on any... I'm sorry, Kamala Harris.
Did you watch the debate between Trump and Harris?
Yeah.
Lenore, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you so much. You did? How do you feel about Trump's performance in that one?
I don't know. Not good.
Not good?
Yeah. But
How do you feel about Kamala Harris's performance in that one?
Also not good. I think...
Really? What did she do that was not good?
I think she can't answer hard questions.
Really? What question did she not answer?
She deflects. I mean, any interview that I've seen, she hasn't been able to give...
Can you name one question she didn't answer at the debate?
At the debate? No. But I can't think of a single question she has answered.
Can you give me a single question that she has not answered ever?
Yeah. What are you going to do to the people... Sorry. What are you going to do for the people in America that can't afford how to live? What are you going to do with this border crisis? What are you going to...
Can't afford to live? She gave a $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes. She had a housing affordability policy. What was Trump's housing affordability policy?
You do know that I still haven't caught up on the policies.
What is Trump's housing affordability policy? You just said that you didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she didn't have a housing affordability policy and didn't talk about that. Or didn't answer that.
I did not say that.
You said because she didn't answer that, right? And she did. She
Because
did answer that.
Answer questions.
She did answer that.
Answer the hard question. She
did answer that. You just can't listen.
No, I listen, but it sounds like a lot of gibberish of what people want to hear. People want to know, like, what was going on in Ukraine? What was she going to do for Israel and Palestine? What is she going to do to help prevent these? I never saw her answer those.
She was the only one that brought... I just want to let you know, she was the only one who brought specific policy. Trump was the one saying drill, baby, drill, not giving specific policy, or saying mass deportation, not giving a specific policy. We've improved in this conversation. You don't know any of the specifics. So how the fuck can you evaluate that?
I saw her post a thing that she wants to help only black men in their small business.
She never said only black men. That's ridiculous.
What about the other people of the... But she posted that.
Yeah, small business. Yeah, the $50,000 tax deductible that helps everyone.
Doesn't sound like everybody.
It is for everybody.
The way she was promoting it.
She talked about it, and it literally says for everybody.
Not
as long as you're a first starting business, it's when you start up a business. It's tax deductible. This is like embarrassing. Like that you don't know any of the policies, you don't know anything that's wrong. You're like, these are straight vibes, like seriously straight vibes. Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Parker, have you seen the state of our country right now? Their administration was not working. It was.
Yeah, let's make it worse. Yeah, that sounds great. Can you tell me?
It was better
would you
under
vote,
Trump.
So would you vote? What years was Trump president?
2016, 2020.
So the economy was good in 2016?
It wasn't great, but the country was in a hell of a lot better state than they were.
And the
Biden.
And the economy was bad in 2020 when Trump left, right?
When COVID started?
Yeah, in 2020, right? The economy was bad?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I just want to let you know, Trump was president between 2017 to 2021, right? Obama was president in 2016, so that means Trump inherited a good economy, or at least trending that way. So what did Trump do to make the economy do better?
He cared about the American people. He put them first.
What do you do?
Put them first in every situation.
By doing what? Jeez. What
Having
do
a
you do?
closed border, trying to get border security.
A closed border? Did you know that there were less people coming into the country at the end of the Biden-Harris administration comparative to the end of the Trump administration in terms of encounters?
In terms of encounters.
That's
In
rough.
terms of encounters is a very specific.
Any reference, but border crossings. Same level of border crossings, the end of Trump administration comparative to the end of the Biden-Harris administration. Actually, a bit lower for the end of the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay, what about all of them?
Wait. So wait. So you can't just be like, oh my God, Biden bad immigration, but it was worse under Trump at the end. Interesting.
It wasn't. Okay.
It was.
How about when Biden started? Like, come on. Like, you gotta be so.
Wait. So why do you blame the Biden-Harris administration for COVID, but you don't blame the Trump administration for COVID?
Who's blaming them for COVID?
The inflation is related to COVID. It affected supply chains around the world, and that's why there was global inflation.
Yeah, but I don't understand how that even got brought up.
You were bringing up inflation and like bad things that were happening under the administration, right? That's at least what I thought you were alluding to by referencing the bad things. What other bad things would you have been referencing?
Under the Biden administration?
Yes, go for it.
Well, first of all, I don't even think Biden was coherent during like the last year and a half of his presidency. Someone was filling in for him.
I don't think you've been coherent in this conversation. And you know that Trump is being filled in for? He didn't know who he pardoned. He said he'd have to look into it. So who's actually president? Who's actually the one determining who he pardons? Because it sounds like Trump's taking like sort of a back end so that he can get the attention in the media, and someone else is actually doing the work of the presidency.
This is crazy. Like, I feel like, this is me being distracted from the conversation, but I feel like this is also kind of why I didn't want to debate, because everybody's so disrespectful, and I don't know, nobody has
You voted for a very disrespectful guy. I just want to let you know. If you actually cared about disrespect, you wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. That's such a ridiculous, like embarrassingly cringe statement to make as a Trump supporter. That's embarrassingly cringe. To care about being disrespectful as a Trump supporter? Embarrassing.
Parker, remember how I started this conversation off, how you like to belittle people and embarrass people, and then you tried to tell me that that's not...
I didn't
and
embarrass...
then you matched the respect.
I'm sorry,
like,
Jenna.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, Jenna. I didn't embarrass you. You embarrassed yourself.
No, but you're belittling me. Like, come on.
I'm just acknowledging that you embarrassed... I'm just acknowledging that you embarrassed yourself.
Constructive debates, but then your whole debate premise is...
Jenna, you don't know... I'm just going to let you know.
Instead of trying to inform them.
Really? Because I've informed you this entire conversation. You haven't learned a single thing yet.
Who said that?
What are you talking about? Name one thing I've taught you this entire conversation.
You talked about the... You want me just to go over our conversation, Parker? Like, I feel like you don't find this belittling how you talk to people?
I'm so belittling for just acknowledging reality. Okay, that's fine. You know,
No,
you can
you
can constantly vilify the left and act like you're the victim in every single scenario, but it's not always true.
Who's being... Okay, I never vilified the left.
Trump does that all the time, and it seems like you've picked up some of those characteristics when you specifically, like, literally take zero acknowledgement of anything you've done that's wrong in the conversation, and you don't listen to any of the things that I've brought up in the conversation, and you just stay in your own sort of thoughts.
That's so not true.
Well, I just asked you for one thing and you didn't tell me. John, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Melanie, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Melanie, thank you. I really appreciate it, Melanie. As well as Rachel, thank you so much for the $1. I appreciate it. Casey, thank you so much for the $1. I appreciate it. And Jen, thank you for the $2. Go for it.
So you talked about the bipartisan bill. You talked about the home ownership policy. You talked about the tax returns for small business owners. Like, I've been listening, and I'm willing. Like when
So
I
you
have
can
these-
reference one, or can you reference anything like in specific of what I said?
about what part? I've been listening.
Any of those three things you just brought up.
Sure. The thing that I first referenced about the only black men was for everybody. It was a $50,000 tax return. In terms of the home ownership policy, she wanted to make housing more affordable. I don't know. Like I can
Yeah, this is what I mean.
repeat to you our conversation, and you can think I'm not taking it all in, but at the end of the day, I am, and I think that's why it's important to have these conversations. So
I
we
do
can
think it's
hear
important to
what
have
you
these
said.
conversations, Jenna. I agree it's really important to have these conversations, and that's why I want to engage in these conversations, but I also have to call a spade a spade. Like, I acknowledge things as they are, and some people might see that as disrespectful or rude, but it's also just who I am as a person, right? If I see something in that particular way, and I'm like, obviously this is stupid, like, I'm gonna say it. I have to do it. Like, that's just how I am as a person. I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to coddle that sort of belief when it's like clear you've done no research and that you voted and you don't really care to like actually look and do the research on those things. Like if you care to do the research, I would be treating it so much differently. If you were like open to the knowledge that I was giving you, I would be treating it differently.
But what makes you think that I'm not?
Because you don't engage critically with like the positions that I bring up and you immediately deflect and move on to the next position.
I feel like that's not fair to say.
Sure. Then let's try it one real quick. Let's just try one thing in specific. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Well, considering I did.
Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
Absolutely not. No. And I wouldn't even, for pretty much any situation, I would say no to the first question you asked. However, I like I said before, I was really just kind of comparing the two evils and seeing how my life has drastically not been great under the Biden-Harris administration.
Wouldn't that be true if the victim was underage as well? That Trump would still be the candidate? Like if Trump were held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child rather than it being a woman, right? Would you have voted for him in this election against Kamala Harris?
No.
Okay, so what changes when the victim becomes an adult that means that you would vote for the person that sexually assaulted them?
Well, I think probably the biggest thing would be the age. However, there's really not a difference between that, and I don't.
Like, I don't know why age would be like relevant towards whether or not you would like
A child
say that
versus
you would
a
vote
woman.
for someone who raped them.
Because in terms of politics and not morals, I think Trump is better for this country compared to Harris. That's why I did it.
I understand, but
Person,
I understand.
not because I like. Sorry, go ahead.
The point of my hypothetical is that it is the case that in both of the scenarios, you think he's better for America. But yet it is the case that you think it's excessively bad to grape a minor insofar as that you wouldn't vote for them. But if the victim was older, then you would vote for him. And that's exactly what I'm trying to point out, is that like you already think that grape is something that you wouldn't vote for someone based upon. It just, I think you're not applying it in this one specific example, and you were trying to find a way to justify it. And I just pointed out how you actually do believe that people should be like put in prison, that like they should not be president if they have been held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, right? But you just
I could not justify him doing any of that.
No, but you wouldn't vote for him either, because you wouldn't vote for him if the victim were a child. So there's really no difference you can provide to me between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old that would be relevant specifically, right? And whether or not you would vote for one candidate comparative to the other, right? If we're saying that the only difference is the victim is just 1 year younger, right? So it's just not a relevant quality, right?
But also looking at the facts of that case, it doesn't make sense to me to see that there's no political motivation behind it. I mean, I don't believe for a second that they couldn't get Trump's DNA to match. I just don't. I don't buy it.
Okay, so well then why didn't Trump give up his DNA to prove that he wasn't there?
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to, but I would have argued that it's the only way that you can justify you were not there and justify your position. And if you were not there, you would actually have reason to do so because it'd be likely they don't have your DNA. And you can exonerate yourself based upon that. If you prove that you weren't there, that's not your DNA, it's some other male's DNA, well then that gives credence to believe that you weren't there. Right? So why wouldn't you do that? Skinny Pete, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alexandra, thank you so much. I appreciate the $1. Rona Lee, thank you so much for the $5. Miranda, thank you for the $1. Carla, thank you so much for the $4.86. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $1. John, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
So it's not his job as a defendant to prove why he wasn't there.
No. What I'm saying is that it just upholds his credibility within that case. Whereas if you think that it is the case that he doesn't give up his DNA, it makes you think that it's likely that he thinks it could be his DNA. So that indicates it's a greater likelihood that he did do it. Think about it. Like you have
that doesn't indicate that. That's just a made-up statistic.
Jenna, let me give you an example. If someone claimed that right, like a particular person assaulted them, right, and they know they've never met that person. They've never been around that person, and they've never been in the same state as that person. Do you think that they wouldn't like give up their DNA to show that they were clearly not there because there's no way they could have their DNA?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't give up your DNA in that circumstance?
No.
Let me give you a comparable analogy. You're driving on the street, right? You get pulled over. You were drinking before, okay? You are given a chance to either do a DUI, or if you don't do the DUI, you're going to be held accountable for this. What do you do?
Like, you mean the steps of a DUI? Like, do the roadside things? What are you?
Yeah. Here, I'll ask you it a different way. If it is the case that you yourself did not drink at all, you had no alcohol, and they want you to do a breathalyzer, and if you don't do the breathalyzer, you will go to prison. Will you do the breathalyzer?
Absolutely, and I think that's a completely different situation.
Why?
Because when you get your license, you are agreeing to either comply or get your license revoked.
So he's either going to be found guilty, right, or he can prove that he's not there, right, by showing that that's not his DNA. Obviously, he would give up his DNA because it's not going to be him. In the same way that if you didn't drink alcohol, right, you're not going to have alcohol in your system.
But it's not his job as a defendant who the world is already against to give up his DNA when he doesn't have to. It's not the job.
Wait. It's not that he legally. So it's not that he legally has to.
It also doesn't correlate to his innocence or guilt.
It does. The reason why it does is because if he was innocent, then it's likely, and we would expect him to engage in the action that would exonerate him of the crime, given that he was nowhere near the event in his eyes. He's never met her in his eyes, right? And this clearly, under his eyes, didn't happen.
That's an opinion.
But I think because it did happen, it's expected to be the case that he didn't give up his DNA because it would have incriminated him. Because the only reason he would not have given up his DNA is if it would have likely incriminated him. That's the only good reason. Taylor, thank you for the $1.
Or he recognized that he has
or he's stupid.
Civil rights where he doesn't have to do that. And like, just because he's not doing what the world wants him to do doesn't make him guilty or innocent. Just like if I'm being tried for, let's say, a murder and they want my DNA, who knows? If they already have their mindset that I did this, who knows that they're not going to...
If they found DNA, if they found DNA of the perpetrator, right, and they're saying you've committed the crime, right, you've murdered this person, I would totally give my DNA and show that I didn't murder the person. because my DNA is not going to be there. Because all I do is fucking do TikTok all day, right? How the fuck would my DNA be at a murder scene? I would be like, dude, I've clearly not been there. I'll give up my DNA. What type of insane fucking reality do you live in? Of course you would give up your DNA. What are you talking about? If I was going to be found guilty of murder, if I didn't give up my DNA for a crime that I knew I never committed, I was never near, I would fucking clearly give up the DNA. The only reason I wouldn't give up my DNA is if it's likely the case that it would show my guilt or incriminate me if I had some sort of political ambition, right? Because then I don't want to be seen as guilty by the public, right? By being found guilty based upon that.
Sure.
Right? That's his perspective. He doesn't want to be seen as guilty to his base, so he just played it by not giving up his DNA. It's clearly obvious what he did. Natalie, think of the $5. Thank you so much. Glow, thank you so much for the $1. Taylor, think of the $1. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I mean, yeah, everybody has the right to think that he should have done this or he should have done that, but at the end of the day, when the world's already against you and they're trying to pin evidence, like, why would you? Like, this could really go in either way, and if you didn't have to, why would you? Besides, like, so, yes, for the reasons that you said.
Say that one more time.
Just because you should doesn't mean you have to. It's the prosecutor's role to bring the
Charlotte, thank you
evidence
so much
to
for
the
the
defendant.
$5. I never said he legally has to under the law currently.
But
I think
then
he
you're
should.
just
Wait, by the way,
speculating.
Jenna, I think he should legally have to. I'm speculating based on evidence. That's how you believe in basically everything. You speculate based on evidence. Okay.
So basically, everything.
If I am
except for
using
just the
evidence,
date,
if
and
I'm
then
using
you
if
let
I'm
it
using
lead to
evidence
something.
hey, listen. If I'm using evidence or probability, it justifies my speculation. Like, for example, history, right? How do you know that specific events happened? Could they have not happened? Yes, they could have not happened, but it's most likely that they did happen. So we're justified in speculating that it occurred based upon evidence. Super cool, nice girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate the $25. Thank you so much for a word. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, super cool, nice girl.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably just gonna let you debate other people. I feel like chat doesn't really like me.
Well, that is the first thing you've gotten right in this entire conversation, I think. Sean, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Sean. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Pascal, thank you so much for the $1. How old are you? Geopolitics, you there? Unmute yourself, brother. Super cool, nice girl. Thank you for the $2. Yes, I probably will at some points. Okay, we're going to get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Thank you for the boxing glove. Thank you so much. Thank you. For the 9,000 people in here, keep tapping that screen. Let's get it up to 2 million likes, everyone. Let's get it up to 2 million likes. We finally have algorithm push again, everyone. I'm so happy. To at least some degree on here. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, everyone. It's the best place to support me. Hannah, thank you so much for the $1. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Chat, I literally forgot to get fucking chapstick. I forgot to bring it. And I'm literally dying. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Meow, 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 meow.
Someone in my chat said, say thank you to Trump. Fuck no. I wish I could invite them. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Appreciate that mustache. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to this next person. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Trump is the truth. Let's see this. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello.
29.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah, I voted Trump. Hell
Why
yeah.
so?
Because he's the truth and he's going to save America that he's doing right now. Saving us all.
How's he saving us? From what?
First of all, why would any logical person vote for whatever her name was, Kamala, or whatever her name
Kamala.
was? Yeah, whatever her name was, yeah. He's literally enforcing Joe Biden's policies, so why would he vote for the same person again?
How many reasons do you want?
Give me some reasons. Give me some valid ones.
You want multiple? I got you.
Yeah.
He was held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. He bragged about walking into changing rooms of teenage girls in Miss Teen USA because he quote-unquote owns the place, and victims came out about it. 5 were as young as 15 years old, right? An 18-year-old at the time, right, came out and talked about how they would walk into the changing rooms, and he would talk about inspecting them on Howard Stern's podcast. We can also say he said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. His tax policy cut taxes on rich people, and he wants to increase taxes on poor people, right, in the middle class through the use of tariffs.
This is all like personal. Like the civilly liable, like has he been actually prosecuted?
Yeah, he was held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will.
Has he been prosecuted there?
Yeah. Unanimously, a jury determined that he sexually abused her.
Okay, but has he been charged for it?
Not in a criminal court, but in a civil court. The reason why it's
Then I
not
don't believe it. Then I don't believe it.
Okay, but the reason why it's not in a criminal court is because of the statute of limitations. Now I have a question. Do you believe Trump's criminal court proceeding on the felonies?
Hell yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You believe that he's a convicted felon?
I mean, all of us have our problems. I mean, let's talk about Biden, for example.
No, do you believe that
His
he did
son,
what?
Hunter Biden. What do you say about
Can you
Hunter
answer the
Biden?
question? Do you believe that
Hunter Biden.
Do you
know
believe
him? He's a Chinese. He was working with a Chinese.
Do you believe that he
Hunter
did what he
Biden.
was? Do you believe he did what he was convicted of?
No.
Okay, so if you don't believe Trump did what he was convicted of in terms of the criminal court for the felonies, then how can you tell me that you would have believed the sexual abuse case if it was the case that it was in a criminal court? Because it seems like you
Because I
don't believe
like,
it even if it was a
I believe
criminal
it's
court.
personal attacks. He's not.
See what
been,
I mean?
like,
Anything against Trump is a personal attack, and you wouldn't believe it. You're like literally a cult member.
I'm not a cult member. I just
you
have
are.
free thinking.
Little Carrado, thank you so much for the $5. Lily, thank you for the
Can you
$5.
answer
Thank
me
you so
like
much.
why Hunter
Sanika,
Biden?
thank you so much for the
$1.
$1. I appreciate it. Super cool, nice girl. Thank you for the $1. Thank you so much.
Can you answer that?
Hannah, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again. No, ask your question
Hunter
again.
Biden, the controversy about Hunter Biden working with.
I disagree with Hunter. I disagree with Hunter Biden being pardoned. Now, the controversy. I don't know much about what you're referencing with China. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, but like voting for Kamala is like voting
Kamala.
for. I don't care about her name, but it's like voting.
No,
for,
you'll say her name correctly, or I'll kick you from the live. Or you can say VP Harris. Appreciate
VP Harris then.
the head mustache. That's fine.
Yeah, but like voting for her is like voting for Biden. Same policy. She was literally the vice president. Why did she do anything then?
Yeah, but like I wouldn't say I'm not. It's justified to not vote for Kamala Harris because of Hunter Biden. What the fuck type of shit is that?
Listen, it's the same policies, is it not?
You
As
understand?
Biden, she was a VP. She
Wait,
could have done something.
What is the reason why you don't like Biden?
Because he ruined the country, and he's a horrible person.
How do you ruin the country?
He ruined it. Do you not see the state of the country before Trump will save us?
What do you do?
So there's multiple things, like he listens to that transgender whatever crap, and he's letting it happen, which I don't agree with.
What
and Donald
specifically?
Trump is stopping that.
What specifically about trans people?
Trans people, I don't believe that they should be given, clinics. I don't think children should be all of that stuff. I don't believe it.
I have a question. Are you Christian?
No.
No. So then here's my point. Do you think cis children should be able to get access to puberty blockers?
I don't think children or adults should. I think that's wrong.
Okay, so what about people who have like early puberty?
I'm not really going to get into that, but I'm talking about people.
What if a doctor says it's best for their health based upon early puberty?
No, people who are mentally unstable, like thinking they're women.
Do you want to like answer the question?
I believe, yeah, they should have puberty blockers, yeah.
Okay, do you think women should be able to get breast reductions?
Yes.
even if it's for gender reasons?
No.
So you think cis women shouldn't be able to get, specifically, they shouldn't be able to get breast reductions for gender affirming care?
No.
You know that's a thing, right? You know that there are cis women, in order to get gender affirming care for their gender, they're cis, by the way, they're not trans, they're cis, right? You're saying that they shouldn't be able to get a breast reduction because it's related to their gender. That's crazy. You think gender affirming care should be blocked for cis individuals?
You're changing the subject.
So a woman should be illegal for her to get a breast reduction for gender affirming care. You're delusional, dude.
I'm not delusional. You believe that people who say they're cisgender when they're...
You would rather ban cis women from getting access to a breast reduction for gender affirming care than you would AR-15s. Let that sink in.
Listen, man. When people are raised in a society that Biden is enforcing transgender, all of this feminist stuff, then people are going to outrage. They're going to be outraged.
Yeah, I want you to go to literally the victims of all of the different mass shootings, and I want you to tell them that their kids dying in schools is less important than trans people's identities being valid. Yeah, go fucking tell the victims' families. Go tell the victims' families all of that shit. That's fucking disgusting.
I never said that.
What are you talking about? You care more about that than you care about literally the families of victims of school shootings and unalivings due to fucking AR-15.
Transgenders did that. He was a
don't refer to trans people as quote unquote transgenders. You should refer to trans people as people, trans people. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, they are people. I agree with you on that, but I believe they're delusional people because
what's the delusional belief?
To believe you're another gender when you're the one you're born with.
Wait, so then what's incoherent about the language they are using?
Because it's just delusional. You think about it.
Give me the contradiction.
A man is a man.
Hey, give me a contradiction. What is the contradiction in saying a trans woman is a woman?
Because they're not a woman. They're a man.
Wait, what's the contradiction?
If you're a man, you're a man. If you're
I want you to give me an A is not A.
Just look at the private parts. A woman has, a man has,
Wait, so are you saying in order to be able to tell that I'm a man, you have to look at my dick?
No, I never said that.
Okay, so then how did you identify that I'm a man?
The shoulders as well. The shoulders. A male shoulders.
Well, I'm just gonna let you know there are trans men that I know that have broader shoulders than I have. So, what are you talking about? There are trans men that I know that have the exact same. On average, you don't. There are trans men that I know that have the exact same, broad shoulders I do. Like I don't have like very broad shoulders, so it's like.
Yeah, man, that's on you. But I just want to.
But I'm a man. You agree that I'm a man, right?
Not only that, Donald Trump, you stop.
Wait. Do you think I'm abortion.
A man? I agree with abortion.
Do you think I'm a man?
Yeah, you're a man. Yeah.
How do you know?
Because you say you're a man and you look like a man.
Are you saying because I identify as a man? Are you saying because I identify as a man, or because I'm
because you say
are you saying because I identify as a man, or like I put on a costume as a man?
Hey man,
I just have a costume on.
If you're trans, you should just come out.
I'm not trans. I'm not trans.
Then that defeats your argument.
But no, it doesn't.
Yeah, you just said you're not trans.
Wait, so why don't you assume that I'm putting on a costume, but you assume trans people?